welcome. We are excited to be here with you. I'm Hillary Yang, and we've got Corinne Malcolm on the mics, and we were sponsored line. And especially on the men's side, it is tight right now. We are really excited to see
her tracker is working. Devin Sharp's trackers come through, and I do believe we saw Sharp's trackers come through, and I do believe we saw top 20, which meant that she made moves on this last section in a big way.
Yeah, she was 19th before, I believe.
Yeah, 19th or 20th. Yeah. So yeah, big shout outs. Someone in the chat asked what shoe Eric was racing in, and he is in the Tecton X3s. So excellent product placement for us today, presented by Hoka, but presented by so many other proud sponsors. You saw that Satisfy banner at Bumblebee. You saw the man, the myth, the legend behind Squirrel's Nut Butter there as well. We've got Goo Energy Labs on course. We've got Tannery Sunscreen out on course. Got a lot of people, Gorewear, making this happen as well. So we have the easy job of sitting in I want to say an air-conditioned studio because we've got this nice breeze.
It is breezy, yep. But yeah, an
good.
Amazing
Sponge
team.
Down.
Yep. Amazing team behind the cameras as well, bringing us all this great footage. We've had some epic drone shots. Speaking of epic drone shots, there we go again. Who are we looking at there?
It could be Devin Sharp.
That could be, yeah.
In the Air Vipa top.
Uh-huh.
Is that Brett Hornig on the far side of the screen?
Might be, yeah. Yeah, we'll just sort of get our bearings of...
We're just going to name random guys, and we may or may not be
I'll
correct.
just agree with you. Be like, yep, sounds great.
Sounds right.
But no, that would make sense. Although, who's that in the... That's Allison.
That's Allison Baca making moves.
Oh, man.
Allison's coming for you, Brett.
Watch your back.
Watch your back.
I love seeing the ponytail fly.
Allison's taken some souls
Look
out
at
there
her
today.
Go. Honestly, like, she is opening up her stride. This is a great shot of our first female Allison Baca.
I think Tabor and Eli Hemming are coaching her as well.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I think that was a move last year or the year before, and I think it's
that would check out.
It
would
really
have been
awesome.
Fun to see her throw down with Tabor.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Yeah, maybe
but
another day.
I do know that that Tabor and Eli were out at Bumblebee, I think. So that also makes sense, right? That they're helping the
especially
crew
on the men's side
out there. So really excited to see.
Nice to see Eli on his feet after a great day yesterday, where he led a lot of the race.
Feeling okay-ish.
Yes. Yep. Rough day.
Yeah, someone was trying to ask Carrie Ann in the chat earlier if she knew how Seth was doing today. So really, really, I'm sure he's mostly upright.
Yeah, mostly. That's the key word. I know String Bean, Joe McConaughey, was at the finish line for a few hours for a few hours yesterday after he finished.
Luke Webster coming in.
There we go.
With the tassels. His homemade moth tech.
But I do always love it when they try to get up after they've been...
And just behind Luke Webster is Carolyn Alcorta.
There we go.
Right here.
All right,
second woman into Gloriana Mine, getting some assistance from the aide, gonna get her water bottle filled up. And again, this is the difference too, a little bit between Allison Baca's been in the sport for a lot longer, and you've got Carolyn Alcorta.
She enjoyed that, didn't she?
It's one of those things where it is joy, but it is also much pain and suffering to get that cold ice water doused on you. So again, you can just see the difference maybe in experience level. But Carolyn is mega talented, and so excited to see her just continue to absolutely rip. But Allison Baca is opening it up. She is moving her way up to the field. I believe she just overtook. I think Devin Sharp there.
Yeah, I mean, she just cruised past.
Yeah, so 2:47 and change elapsed. Again, Allison Baca came through in 2:41 and change. So we've got about a 6 or so minute gap now between Allison and Carolyn. So she's continued
to
put time in to Carolyn on that last section. And no guys are safe.
She is holding on.
Yeah, so she will definitely be continuing to move her way up in the field. She's got the likes of Matt Luongo, Max, and Brett Hornig. Honestly, not all that far in front of her, and the way she's moving, she might be picking those guys off here shortly.
Yeah. We see Allison maybe making her way up as far as the top 10. I don't know. It's not out of reach. She only came through Gloriana like 3 minutes behind Adam Mary in 10th place, so I'm just saying.
Yeah, we got Cowgirls cheering on, taking care of their people at Bumblebee, and then once the herd is through, they'll come over here, and I'm excited
amazing.
for them to absolutely lose it.
Yep. Gonna bring all the energy to the finish line.
Yeah, really, really impressive running from the men and women at the front of this race. Again, Allison Baca out front right now, putting on an absolute masterclass performance here today. Continuing to open up that gap now over the upstart, the newer trail running phenom, Carolyn Alcorta. I can call her a phenom. I think what she's putting together today shows a lot of potential and a lot of range for her. And then on the men's side, we've got a battle going down up front between Jeshrin Small and Brian Whitfield, the race leaders from the jump, basically. But Eric Lagerstrom,
you know, it would be interesting to see
the
what they do
there.
if he appears, because they sort of have this dynamic right now where they have, you know, probably figured out each other's paces and felt it out, and eventually someone will make a move. But if someone new comes into the mix and they've clearly made up time on them, well, that's a whole different dynamic, and that's going to really push them to break that gap and really, like, I think a leader will emerge out of that. So we'll see if Eric can catch them, and maybe they'll all be running scared.
Yeah, it is one of those things where it's like all of a sudden, do they let him close it down, or do they realize he's there and try to keep away a little bit? So
yeah,
curious.
But everyone might have to run faster than they want to. You know?
100%. People they are definitely going to have to run faster than they want to. At a minimum,
yeah.
I would say we know that to be true. We heard from the crew at Bumblebee that the pigs were not out.
Oh, disappointing.
Yeah,
they knew you weren't there.
That is a bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
No, literally, there was like a baby cow in a jacket in like the fenced-in yard last year, just like hanging out with like a dog, just like having the best time.
As one does.
I was having the absolute best time.
Yeah.
Being a field commentator from that position was people are like, Corinne shouldn't be allowed out here. She's having too much fun. It does seem like Moy has gone through, one of the Boulder boys, through Gloriana Mine, Bryce Brooks, Colin Westbrook, Luke Webster, Luke Phillips. Carolyn Alcorta's chip is not registered there, but we did see her go through, along with Devin Sharps as well. He went through there just ahead of Allison Baca.
And Carolyn was about 7 minutes behind Allison there. So, a few minutes further back than she was at Bumblebee. Allison's clearly got the lead right now, but Carolyn is still moving really well. Stopped to cool down a little bit with what looked like some very cold ice water, but
and there's a pretty big gap at Bumblebee, or an opening gap at Bumblebee, between Carolyn in second and the chase pack of women by about what was it, like 6 minutes or so?
Yeah, that was a decent gap.
That gap is a little bit of a buffer there, and I imagine that we'll see something similar at Gloriana, but we'll keep our eyes open for speaking of our next woman coming through here. So again,
there we go.
2:52 elapsed or so. I'm going to have to do public math because this isn't updating. That's always embarrassing.
I'll let you do that one. You're more the math brain. I'm more the art brain.
God. So I said that Carolyn came through there at approximately 2:47 and change. So it's about 5 or 6 minutes. That gap is staying about the same, but could be changing a little bit in favor of the lady in all black. That's Jennifer Schmidt there. F3 bib 1917. Running really, really smooth.
Yeah, it really seems like they are more consistent with their times, but Allison is picking it up. Like she's the one that's created a bigger gap between the rest of the women's field as she closes in on some of those men, which is really exciting to see. But the rest of the women's field is still pushing really hard and fairly close together. It's a nice drone shot we've got there of our third place woman, Jennifer, as she's rolling through, still like moving so well. You can see there's
a rocky climb here too. Yeah, it's not
all downhill.
It's not flowy.
Contrary to public opinion.
Yeah. While we'd like to say it's all downhill, it's decidedly not. Zach Marion getting kitted up in studio.
Yep.
Take the terror deck out on
Zach,
into
you
the
gonna
field.
do some warm ups, some little like high legs, high knees, getting ready for these guys as they come in. Yep.
It's gonna be a drag
the behind
race.
the scenes you all didn't know you needed.
Picture in picture. Zach Marion getting kitted up with our super cool terror deck system. It basically allows us to, akin to like having a bike camera. Zach's getting kitted up to be our runner cameraman. Headed backwards. I don't know. This section's rocky, Zach. I don't know that you want a bike on it. So he's gonna be headed out on course to go find our lead men, which honestly, it's kind of a crapshoot because we know that Eric Lagerstrom closed the gap down to about 30 seconds at Gloriana Mine.
Mm-hmm.
They came through there.
I mean, their estimated time is saying 9:28, but I think it's going to be faster than that.
I think it's going to be faster than that, too.
I think they're going to crush that last 10K so quickly. So, I don't know, Zach. I'd get your warm-up going soon.
I'd get your poop in a group, man.
Yep.
My shoes are laced.
Yeah, exactly.
Double locked.
Last thing we need. Take out the camera guy. The shoelace.
Would not be the first time.
Yeah, it's predicting the men's elapsed time to be around 3:28, and Allison Baca's current projected finish time is 3:50. I said 4 hours or just under 4, and 3:50 would be smoking fast in this course.
I want to see where she ends up in the overall because she is just picking people off right now. It looks like we are. Oh, Caroline, interesting, still hasn't updated through Gloriana. So when you're looking at the women's top times, definitely factor that in. She is in second place, and so everyone else from her, Jennifer is in third, Imogen is in fourth, and Kristen Schindler is in fifth. So those times all roll down.
I'll see if we can manually add her.
And yeah, our next update on the guys is going to be really when they come flying towards us in a few minutes down the finish chute. So that's fun. I also feel like it's been a few minutes since we've seen them, and I'm really curious to know if Eric has made up any more time.
Yeah,
we have a bunch of Eric's fans.
Is it a group of 3 now?
Right, yes.
Or is it still the 2 guys off front with Eric just behind them?
And if it's a group of 3, are they all going full tilt now?
Yeah, or does some of the other race tactic play in where he's like, okay, I got to be ready when I make my move to make my move, and so.
But making a move
on
this terrain.
How far out do you kick?
Yeah, like making a move on this terrain and even making that pass is difficult. Like it's pretty narrow single track. It's like you got cactuses on the side, you got rocks on the side. So even the strategy of making that move and not falling on your face when you're moving at the speeds that these guys are moving at, there's definitely some finesse involved in this.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if we can manually get Carolyn added to that live timer, live tracking, so that our F2 shows up appropriately for all of you watching at home, so there's no surprises. But right now, Allison Baca leading the race, followed by Carolyn Alcorta, Jennifer Schmidt, Imogene, Kristen, and we think we should be then seeing Melody, Corinne Shalvoy, Lacey, Maddie Pfeiffer. That's a good women's top 10.
Yeah, it's solid. Someone in the chat was also just asking about the elevation stats on the 50K. Just pulling up the Cal Topo for the route, we've got 2,308 feet of gain and then 4,319 feet of descent. So almost double the amount of descent, but there's still a little bit of gain. And when we're looking at the course profile here, they had one kind of climb out of Bumblebee that was probably the most significant one of the race, if you could call it that. And then after Gloriana, it's like a series of little sharp downhills that are, like you said, Krim, pretty pointy, pretty quad crushing as they roll into the finish line. So definitely some chances for people to hammer and some chances for people to blow up.
Yeah, and if you're new to this whole trail and alternating thing because Chris or Max or Eric brought you here, we're happy to have you.
We love our triathlete friends. Come on over.
Welcome to a race in the desert where we have better service than many of our events, but there's a lot of Starlinks in use out here on course as we run a point-to-point race today. They started up around 4,000 feet of elevation at Mayer High School, came off the track, ran a couple miles, hit the Black Canyon Trail. They're running basically parallel to the 17 corridor that runs north-south outside of Phoenix. We are situated at Deep Canyon Ranch and waiting for our lead men and women to run right to us, run literally actually right past us as they finish just a couple hundred meters away.
I'm honestly so excited for this finish line. Just being able to be right here in the action. Like, you know, I've done studio stuff where you're off site, and I feel like being here and hearing the announcers and getting all of that just adds a totally different perspective.
Yeah, 100%. We're gonna have crews rolling in here who are crewing at Bumblebee, who are then gonna bop over here to see their runners. Again, leading the men's race is the duo of Jeshrin Small and Brian Whitfield, but Eric Lagerstrom is very, very likely in that mix, followed by Chris Myers sitting in 4th position as far as we know. But then there's a lot of movement between that 5th and 9th. We saw Jeff Colt absolutely make a move, leading Gloriana Mine. So behind Chris Myers, likely Wade Hall, Kyle Fox, Jeff Colt, Adam V., Chris Leiferman, and Adam Mary are the guys kind of making that top 10 group as we wait for updates from the women's field. Again, waiting for our F7, 8, 9, and 10 to come through Gloriana Mine.
Yeah, it's been really fun seeing this race play out, and honestly, like seeing how far up in the field the women are, especially the top women, is really exciting and, you know, fun for us on the commentary side to be able to see both of these races play out in real time together and see our lead women like right in the mix with these guys, you know, pushing them, coming up hot behind them, keeping them honest. It's a great sport. It's honestly, if you're tuning in and you are new to the ultra running space, it's grown so much in the last few years. It's gotten so competitive. We love being able to share the stories with you. We love being able to bring you this live coverage. We're grateful for all of you, for all the support from Hoka, who's presenting this amazing coverage, from all of our sponsors. I mean, the fact that it's part of the World Trail Majors now, we're going to see deeper and deeper fields.
Alvoy coming into Gloriana Mine. You can tell, again, her legs are as long as I am tall. Was in the field doing commentary all day yesterday. Still out here crushing the 50K. Love to see it. She's run the 60K here a couple of times. Trying to go to the right water location. Was like, hi, you got a pitcher of water? Help me. And they're like, no. Leave. Oh, but she is followed through the aid station by Melody Gilbert.
Wow. I mean, they were pretty close together at the last aid station.
But Corinne's moved up.
Yeah, Corinne's moved up.
Nice
she is looking
work,
really
Corinne.
good.
Corinne does know this trail super, super well. I don't know if Melody Gilbert's been out here before, so that is definitely an advantage in Corinne's favor. Someone pointed out in the chat, if you look at the predicted time of our top 3 men at the finish line, guess who has the fastest predicted finish time?
I'm going to say Eric.
Yes, by 4 seconds.
By 4 seconds.
So the predicted finish order right now for the men is Eric Lagerstrom, Jeshrin Small, Brian Whitfield. But what will happen? No one knows.
And that's just based on the fact that Eric has been moving up steadily through this race. His splits are getting just that little bit faster, whereas the top 2 have been very consistent, staying together. So, yeah, really interested to see how that plays out in real time. I know a lot of people in the chat following along with Eric, but also huge shout out to our other 2 guys, Jeshrin and to Brian, who've been leading this race together from the go and setting the blistering pace, which is not easy to do. Got a great shot there of Corinne and Melody as they're both cruising along. It looks like Corinne is just like not looking back. She's trying to make a little bit of space between her and Melody as she moves up through the women's field. Corinne is a super strong and experienced runner. She had a great race at Javelina last year. She knows how to pace herself.
She said, I don't know how Riley's running the 100K. I don't know. Yeah. I don't feel ready to do that yet. So Corinne Chavo went to the well at Javelina, had an amazing race, and we're thrilled to see her open up her season here with the 50K. She's works for the feed, helps to manage their elite athlete team. She also is a core member of kind of that Colorado Springs area community, putting on a lot of events, being present with those athletes. So Corinne Chalvoy, one of our favorites, one of our homies, but she's opening up a gap over Melody. So she passed Melody coming into Gloriana Mine, stopped to get a sponge bath there for a second, and has taken back off again on your screen. Corinne Chavoy, Melody Gilbert, making it happen. A little bit of a glitch in our eye in the sky, that drone shot, but really, really cool to see these women rip down this single track just outside of Gloriana Mine on their way towards at the finish line. Again, Gloriana Mine is approximately 24 miles into the race. We are sitting right around 32 miles. I'm hearing screaming. No, that'd be way too fast. We also hear the delay from the live screen just a couple hundred meters away from us, so I'm also hearing that around us. But right now, we are trying to get our women's field updated through Gloriana Mine. See if that's actually accurate right now. But again, yes, they have updated for us. Thank you, team. Allison Baca in the lead. 6.5-ish minutes, let's say, behind her. Carolyn Alcorta making Cowgill proud, sitting in second place. Then a gap back to Jennifer Schmidt in third, who has pulled herself away from the likes of Imogen and Kristen. They are also through there virtually together. 2:53 and 2:53:45 elapsed. We saw Robin Lesh come through in sixth position. Behind her, Corinne Chavoy, 3:01 elapsed, followed by Melody Gilbert, in 8. We are waiting for Lacey and I think Maddie Pfeiffer to come through. Gloriana Mine in 9th and 10th position. Again, we are waiting for our lead men to come down here. Jeshrin Small, Brian Whitfield, Eric Lagerstrom sitting in 1, 2, 3 position. I think we might have a drone outside here at some point in time that would give us that aerial footage of our lead men making their way down towards Deep Canyon Ranch. Chris Myers in that mix in 4th, and then really a toss-up kind of in that 5th through 10th position in the men's field of Wade Hall, Kyle Fox, Jeff Colt, Adam V, and Chris Leiferman. Adam Mary, I think, hanging on to that M10
there's been some
position.
movement in there for sure. They're all jockeying back and forth, and will be interesting to see how some of that plays out in the final results. But Jeff Colt has been really looking good, I feel like.
That move he made past Gloriana Mine was really, really encouraging, I want to say. Someone said, because I was like, is that cheering? Is that screaming? And I was like, I don't know what I'm hearing in my ear versus just kind of stuff getting set up around us. And someone said, was it cheerful screaming or fearful screaming?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and I was like, neither. Yeah. We think we're probably about 20 minutes away from the men finishing. We could be wrong. If that group of 3 is pushing each other, we could see them come through here faster.
I think we will.
I predicted something closer to 3:20 for today. Their timing chips are currently predicting 3:28, but I'm not sure if that ETA is going to be the time to beat or not.
Yeah. No, I'm going to say that it's going to be closer to the 9:15, 9:20. I just think the way those guys are moving, and also with Eric right on their tail, they're going to pick it up. If they have anything left to give, they have anything left in the tank, there's going to be some moves made. So I think you're going to see some fast splits on that 10K time at the end. And it'll be interesting to go back and compare that to our 100K runners, from yesterday, because we can do a very direct comparison to.
Well, I think 3:31 is kind of that split-ish.
So if they could come in quite a bit faster than that.
Which would be great. That'd be a great move for this 50K as it moves to be a more and more competitive race in the series. Historically, the 60K splits haven't been quite as fast as the 60K splits in the 100K, but again, the level of competition here is really going to drive that forward.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, that's the fun thing about it, right? Everybody rises together to a point until someone emerges through. All right, what do we have here?
I think that's Maddie Pfeiffer. I just wanted to point that out. I think that's Maddie Pfeiffer coming through past Gloriana Mine.
Yeah,
she was sitting kind of right in that 9th or 10th position, having moved up from maybe about 12th or so at Bumblebee. So I do think that's Maddie Pfeiffer out of Vermont in the swap singlet and hat, I believe.
Shout out to the swap team, always crushing it. Running with joy. Definitely fun to see the women's field. I feel like there's being some moves being made there, especially I think for that third place spot, that doesn't feel at all decided right now. That feels like it's very much a toss-up.
Yeah, it feels like it's a toss-up. And, like, I would love to see Carolyn stick it and hang on to the second position. But if she cracks at all in this last bit of racing, we could even see a bigger shift on the podium.
That would be interesting. I know she came through Gloriana Mine and it looks like 2:47.
The frazzle factor at Gloriana Mine looked a little bit higher than it had earlier, and that's my question mark. Is
she did stop for more cooling. She definitely needed a little bit more management of the heat. Again, it doesn't sound on paper like it's crazy hot. Certainly not Western States or Javelina hot, but it's an early season race. It's hot out here in the desert with the direct sun. You really feel it. Yesterday I felt like I must be super sunburned because I felt the sun on me all day. I saw quite a few sunburns actually when I was out on course. So it's deceptive and people are definitely needing to cool down. But yeah, I mean, Jennifer was less than 5 minutes, 4 minutes behind her.
And it looked really strong. I would say really frazzle low there for sure. And I think frazzle high maybe with Carolyn. So Cowgill's going to be pulling her along here. So hopeful to see that crew roll in here in due time and then be here to absolutely lose their mind for Carolyn as she makes her way into the finish line. But again, we are waiting for our next on-course update, and our on-course update is going to be probably an aerial visual of our lead men as they make their way here. They are mighty close, I would say. Like,
we're within
10 minutes maybe.
Yeah, and like someone pointed out, those predicted times are based on their pace and not necessarily the terrain, and so absolutely correct. We could see faster times than predicted just based on the fact there's some really punchy downhills, and depending on how fast these guys choose to tackle that terrain, it's just like how much quad do you have left?
Yeah, someone said, I just logged in. How many times has Corinne said nasty today? I haven't actually.
I know. I feel like you gotta.
I'm waiting for Allison Baca to lay down some absolutely insane time, well under 4 hours, and then I will describe it as very nasty.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, people are talking a little bit about, like, oh man, add ultras to the Olympics. Have you guys heard about the protesting going on in skimo right now? Because skimo being added to the Olympics has dramatically changed that sport, not for the better.
Oh, interesting.
And I was like, trail runners.
Nixnay on the Olympics.
Same thing happened to mountain biking. Same thing happened to climbing. I don't know.
Yeah, climbing was an interesting one. I have a lot of friends that are climbers, and speed climbing, not everybody's forte.
Turns out a little bit different than the sports that we oftentimes love. So
it's an interesting discussion, isn't it? Because we love trail running so much, we want to share it, we love seeing it grow. We don't want to protect it in that way, but we do want it to keep the heart and soul that it has.
Well, it needs to be 90 minutes long, and it needs to be commercial friendly, and generally speaking, what we do is neither of those things. So if something like trail running comes to the Olympics, it's going to be that Golden Trail format, I think, something that's like really easy to televise, it's really fast, it's under 2 hours for sure.
And which is exciting. Like the Golden
super
Trail World Series stuff is so cool to watch.
But it's very different than what we're doing here this weekend.
Yes. I was thinking that this morning on my drive over at 5 a.m. Just like, if I was in a sport that was just like super fast, like the 100-meter sprint, like commentary would be done in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, someone said bring either the 6-day, 24-hour, or it was Jamil, Runs Deep Get High. Bring either the 6-day, 24-hour, or backyard ultras to the Olympics. I'm in there. We'll work on this. We got some time to workshop it, guys. Don't worry.
We can bring other elements.
But yeah, so right now, what we're looking at is we are waiting for our aerial shots, and not what we're actually looking at. What I'm, I guess, metaphorically looking at. We're waiting for our aerial shots of our lead men who are coming in. I did see Zach Marion leave here with that Terradic system in his running vest. Kitted out, super cool. We got to demo it at Western States for the first time. It allows us to have that camera runner follow cam, which sounds really stressful, to be honest. But that is what, this is still Gloriana Mine.
Okay, gotcha.
It's really cool that we can get that like on the ground footage from either someone on a bike or someone with a running pack, and it brings in really high quality video. So we should have that as well on this final section, but I'm hoping that we've got an eye in the sky here near the finish line and we'll get a good aerial shot of the boys, and then Allison Baca absolutely demolishing people as they make their way towards us. Taking numbers, taking souls. It's a lot.
It's always my favorite. Bye. How are you? Bye.
Yeah, I love that Max is just the beach kid.
I know, totally.
It's great. It's a vibe for
Just
sure.
the surf kid, just crushing. Yeah, he does come across as super chill, but then when he's racing, it's like, maximum effort, pardon the pun. But, oh my gosh, that is so great. Imagine having a name called Max. You could do so much with that. But yeah, it's cool seeing him throw down. It's cool just seeing all these runners like we were talking about coming into this race. There's definitely some names that we knew and we're ready to watch out for, but also some names that are surprising us and just some people throwing down. And it's really fun. And I love seeing people get their breakout moment. I love seeing people just get this chance to get out there and to kind of flex against some amazing talent.
We've got a special guest joining us in studio. I was just laughing to myself because when you said you weren't mobile at Bumblebee, I was assuming that you were just like chained to the camera, but not that maybe you physically weren't mobile enough to get around.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
Do we have Jamil's mic on? Just want to check. Perfect. Awesome. Jamil, welcome to the studio.
Hey, thank you. Y'all are crushing it today. Doing a great job. It's been very entertaining to listen.
We're having fun. It was nice to hear you. Thanks for being our eye in the sky or our boots on the ground.
Yeah, it was great. I think it was a perfect flow. Like those two spots were really good for field reporting, so it was a lot of fun to see it in action.
I got to be there last year at a couple of those spots, and it was insanely fun just to like actually get to see it. And I had to be very careful to not pull a Katie Asmuth, and I would have to pull the mic away from me to do my cheering, and then I'd come back and be professional.
I know. I caught myself a couple times. The only thing I was disappointed about is the band hadn't started playing yet at Bumblebee Ranch. I think they're coming back later.
Live
That's
music
amazing.
down there? That's awesome.
What's that?
Live music? That's
So
awesome.
no
Yeah,
planes, but live music.
Yeah, they had they just had some stuff playing today, but yeah, they have the band Selland and Star, local country band. They were out there all day yesterday. They were at the expo, and then I think they're coming back today. Their stuff was still set up.
Nice. That's awesome. So will we have a drone here to see the boys before Zach Marion intercepts them?
I think we have a drone here. Mitch? We will, yes. We'll have eyes on
Sorry,
them.
I'm just really hyped right now.
Yeah, no, for those of you in the chat who are asking when you're going to see the guys, we just confirming with our team here, we have a drone ready to go. So when we have them in sight, we will have some amazing footage of this final section of the course.
Yeah, because we want to know, right? We knew that all of a sudden Eric Lagerstrom closed that gap in a pretty profound way. And so what is happening? Is it a three-way race right now? Have those guys tried to run away from him?
Are they so many questions.
Are they all running faster than they want to be? Like, I need to know.
Yeah, we had a little swap out, it seemed like, at Gloriana, where Eric came in for that third position from Adam V, who fell back a few spots.
Yeah, we watched Jeff Colt overtake Adam V, actually, with the aerial, and the speed differential there all of a sudden was massive. Adam is definitely in the hurt locker, and Jeff was charging. And then we saw Allison Baca absolutely like tearing souls out of guys as she blitzed by.
Yeah, I was going to say, too, it speaks to Jeff Colt's experience that he's such a good racer.
We got
and
eyes.
How to pace himself. All right. Oh, here we are.
No, that's
Gloriana.
That's
I'm sure we'll.
Gloriana.
Oh, there we go.
Here we go.
That's Jeshrin.
All right.
What's going on?
Here we are.
No, that's
He looks confused.
he looks really confused. Is he worried that he's lost? That's not a great sign. That's Jeshrin.
Oh my gosh.
He's like stumbling.
Yeah. Oh, this is wild.
That's Jeshrin.
Oh my gosh. Because there is a cut down on this section. I'm assuming it's quite well marked.
It's all orange marked. I was out 2.5 miles from here yesterday, and it was all marked super well.
Quite well marked. But he looks like he's stumbling and confused.
Yesterday, it was all marked super well.
Quite well marked.
Yeah, we are seeing this in real time with all of you guys on the feed here, just trying to get our bearings with what's going on. But whatever's happened, he's on his own. So there's some moves that have been made.
Because you always wonder too, right? Like, was he looking over his shoulder for confirmation? Like, did I go the right way? Are they there?
Because at some point here, there's going to be a left turn where they're going to leave the Black Canyon Trail to cut down to Deep Canyon Ranch, which is this new venue as of last year.
It can be very hard when you're racing if you miss a marker or two and you're not paying attention and you space out and then all of a sudden you start second guessing yourself. I wonder if that's what was happening in that moment. It just looked like he was a little thrown there. But I mean, Stride looks great now and he's back on track. So
yeah, if we hadn't caught him a minute ago, we would have not known any different.
He would have been like, nothing to see here, folks. Everything's great. But I mean, whatever it is, look at this gap.
think that's the turn right there.
There we go.
There we go. He made it.
That's like right up here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like he's close.
Yes. I think that's the turn right there. Yeah, the final descent. Yeah.
Okay, we've got this.
He's down. He's off the Black Canyon Trail now. He's heading down to the Jeep Road into Deep Canyon.
Okay, we've got this.
He's down.
Wow, he is going to be over here in just a minute. So we've got Jeshurun Small. We believe our race leader, by all accounts, looking to come away with the win. We saw him moments ago looking maybe a little bit confused, but.
Okay, we got a wider shot now. You can see the edge of the parking lot down there.
Oh, yeah. So, and that wider shot also showed that there's nobody right behind him. So he is turned on the gas.
Is he almost worried that those guys missed that turn
and just for
by the road cut? Because you come across that road, you know? They shouldn't have.
So you can see the studio down below, and we'll see if we can get a sweeping view of anyone behind him.
For those asking, we'll just quickly recap our top few guys. We have Jeshurun Small currently in the lead, coming into the last final section. Brian Whitfield, who was with them pretty much the entire race. Eric Lagerstrom, who's been gaining on them all race and could very well be with Brian right now. Chris Myers in fourth, and then Wade Hall.
And then it's kind
fifth. From there,
who knows between fifth and ninth at this point.
But the top four guys are all very close, and I mean certainly were at least before this part, but we're seeing a huge gap now between.
We've got no one in sight behind him on that descent. He's a little bit further out than I thought he was. Not by a lot, but a little bit.
He's probably like a minute from here right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for those of you wondering, the split yesterday on the 100K, I believe, to this point on the course was about 3:31, and right now Jeshurun is at 3:20 on the clock, so he is definitely coming in under that 100K split.
That's Zach right there, maybe?
Yeah, we got Zach Marion, our... he's going to run him in.
So you can see the finish line there on the right-hand side of your screen with all the tents. He's going to do a small loop on the outside and come in for the win.
Wild. Wow, Jeshurun.
Yeah, he is literally going to come sprinting by us here in all of a minute.
Do we think he drops Zach?
No, there they are.
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
No, that's Zach Marion. That's Zach Marion. He's about to. I was like, oh my God, the other boys. Nope, that is Zach Marion with the camera down there.
Coming right down, you guys. We are about to see him in about 3 seconds. Oh, I just got eyes on Jeshurun. There they are. They're on the last final couple 100 feet into the finish.
4:21 and change.
Shot. I mean, it's all a course record because this is new this year, the 50K, but this is a stout time for the first year.
Yeah, and remember, we don't have cameras on the runners at all times. Our runners basically intercept our cameras along the course for large segments, and so we've been waiting for our guys to get close enough for us to get that next aerial shot. And now you have Jeshurun Small, who's going to be your 50K champion, establishing the 50K record here, coming in for the win after duking it out with Brian Whitfield and Eric Lagerstrom today. Jeshurun Small, 2025
Looking
Black
good.
Canyon 50K.
He's got a big grin on his face. He's happy.
Nice.
Taking the win.
Convincing win, too. Big separation.
Yeah, he threw down at the end there. Good stride as he comes around the final corner. This is sort of like the victory lap, you know?
Yeah, I like it. I like that it's drawn out a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I thought they went right into the chute here.
And then you come into the final chute, into the crowd, into the village.
What a run. Also, no one's in sight. So, you want it to be clean, right? And by clean, I mean you want no one else to have gone off trail, to have gotten lost, to have missed a turn.
Yep.
But that's racing. You gotta stay on course.
I am curious.
Just under 3:23 looks like.
That's so fast.
I'm curious to hear from the other guys when they come in what happened out there and what.
You got the Boulder Boys there, giving Jesh the honorary Boulder Boy a little love.
Wow, what a race
he
by
definitely took
Jeshman.
some. Seth is checking out the wounds out there. It seems like he's gotten a few of them.
Yeah, I mean, he certainly, someone was saying he led from wire to wire. I mean, he was toe-to-toe with Brian, but he never faltered. Like, he never let up off the gas and just pushed hard right to the finish. And, I mean, put a decent amount of time on the other guys from the looks of it.
I believe our drone is doing a quick swap, and then we're going to get back up in the air, see if we can find second and third.
So locate them, maybe?
I believe our drone is doing
Jamil,
a
it's
quick
not yet-
swap, and
not
we're going to
yet
get back up in
not
the
a
air,
SAR
see if we
mission
can
quite
find
yet,
second
but-
and third.
If they missed a turn,
Let's hope not.
if they missed a turn, where would they end up?
All the way at the 100K finish?
Maybe on the I-17 freeway. I'm just kidding.
Sick.
Oh, there they are.
Oh, here we come, here we come, here we come.
Oh, my gosh.
Zach, the boys, they're coming. Let's go. Sprint, Zach, sprint.
All right, we're making
Sprint,
Zach
Zach,
run.
Get back on that horse.
Zach, you have one job.
He's panting away from running in first place, and it's like, here we go.
In all caps, the competition. Yeah, the competition.
All right. Wow. What a race. We've got Zach picking up our second place runner here.
This is Eric Lagerstrom.
That's Eric.
Where is Brian Whitfield?
Holy crap.
Eric
What happened?
Lagerstrom coming home in second.
Oh my gosh.
All right, we
What a
got
race.
Eric
Look
here.
At that stride. You can see the triathlete in him. It's like chest up.
Jamil, what does this do for trail running, having that triathlon life in the chat?
Oh, it's great. Welcome to everyone, TTL Nash. Welcome. This is awesome. You get to see your boy right here coming in second. Great time.
3:25 and
Crushing
change.
this 50K.
I think this is technically a PR for him. He's run one other 50K at Run the Rock. I think he did that solo time trial in 3:29.
But
Yeah,
to be
the chat
pushed like
is blowing
this,
up. This
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah, to be pushed like this and to have to really like stretch to reach these guys and then to pull off the second place. Oh. Amazing job, Eric.
We're working the angles, Jamil. It wasn't perfect, but we got the
Yeah, we
angles
got there.
there.
We closed it in at the finish.
The big boss in the house.
All right, so that's under a 3:26 50K for Eric.
So you gotta
Incredible
remember. You gotta remember,
performance.
we saw Brian Whitfield blow through aid a couple times, and you gotta wonder if that was the
Yeah,
price he paid.
well, we talked about this. You know, it's like you can think in your mind that that's gonna be a good decision, but you know, I mean, Eric's wearing a pack, so
That's
you know
smart.
he had what he needed. But
a
good decision, but we'll have to wait and see at this point. You know.
And Allison's rolling.
So,
like
you
we're
know,
gonna
he
see
had
her
what he
just
needed,
as at the
but
top
good
10,
decision,
maybe.
but
Yeah.
We'll have to wait.
I know. I'll be interested when we pick her up to see if she's
Allison's
picked off any more of
rolling.
those
Like, we're gonna
guys
see
because
her
she looked like
just
she's
at
moving
the
faster than
top
us.
I do want to ask the chat while we have the TTL Nash here. Do you want to see Eric in the 100K next year here at Black Canyon? I do want to ask the chat.
Oh, are we creating our own Russian nesting doll of golden tickets right now?
Oh yeah, we're giving him an entry for sure.
Sweet. Love it. People really liked that idea in the chat, actually. So
Yeah, level up.
I mean, we kind of have to give the top three.
oh, golden
Yeah,
tickets
just like
right now.
Oh yeah,
golden
we're giving
tickets.
him
Yeah.
an entry for sure.
Sure.
Three, whatever
Sweet.
we want to call them.
Love it.
Sure. I love
People
it. I
really
think
liked
that's
that idea in the
perfect.
chat, actually. Copper so.
Yeah,
tickets,
level
black
up.
Black
tickets.
and we
tickets.
kind
Well,
of
I
have
see
to
Chris
give the top
Myers.
three.
There's Chris.
Yeah, oh, I
Just
think
like
so.
okay,
Three
golden
maybe moving
tickets.
into third.
So I think Brian may have had
Oh,
a blow up here.
the chat, by the way, loves the 100K idea for Eric. That just went off.
Let's book it,
Blow
Eric.
up.
Let's
All
do
right.
it.
Paula Finley.
Blow
are you
him
in the
up. Let's
chat?
get him out to Black Canyon 100K in 2026.
Paula's been in the chat today. Paula, let's make this happen.
Blow him
And
up. Let's get
have
him
your
out
people
to
talk to
Black
my
Canyon
people.
100K in 2026.
Paula's been in the chat today. Paula, let's make this happen.
Eric and Jamil toe to toe on
The
Tempe.
YouTube content would be next level.
All right. We've got
Chris Myers bringing it home in third. Only got a 6-mile shakeout running yesterday. Wasn't able to pace Mackay Clemens for that 50K that they were hoping for, so
Got some extra pep in his step.
maybe, yeah, hopefully. Probably a weird day out for Chris yesterday either way, but it looks like he is coming home for third. Still a little ways out from our finish line here, but he will be here shortly.
It looks like he's just got one more final section before he hits the road and our sight lines. But great race by Chris. He really moved up to the field. Looks like he ran a smart race.
And just keeping it all in perspective, our 100K yesterday, right around 3:30, 3:31 for those lead runners coming in, Eli and Seth.
Did Brett say he was trying to run the 100K pace when you saw him at Antelope? That's what it sounded like.
He didn't say much to me there.
It sounded like he was trying to run 100K pace, and I was like, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's what it
Well,
sounded
in that
like.
case, he'll be slightly off.
It sounded like he was trying to run 100K pace. Yeah, it's really impressive. So you have the men's champion from yesterday, Seth Ruling, actually at the finish line right now, hanging out and handing out high fives. Chris Myers about to round the corner here. A couple 100 meters away from the finish line. Looking good in the new Brooks kit.
So he's right around what Eli and Seth ran yesterday.
Great drone shot of that final little stretch.
He's right around what Eli
straightaway.
and Seth ran yesterday.
Zach working hard to bring him in.
One thing I'll mention real quick too, just about this venue at Deep Canyon Ranch, is this is now the start line for the Cocodona 250. So
I didn't know that.
yeah, Cocodona
cool.
starts right here.
Oh, that's so sick.
Yep, as of 2024. So
Great spot for it.
yeah, we'll be here in just 3 months' time with Cocodona.
This race director got me into her 200.
Yeah, we're just adding 200s.
There we go.
I know.
Let's do it.
Party's going.
So we'll have to work something out for Cocodona.
The Mammoth to Cocodona pipeline, or the
Yes.
Cocodona Mammoth pipeline.
There's going to be a double in there somewhere.
Chris Myers. Yeah, the independent 200s. We're going to create a whole new race series.
That neon kit, I'm telling you, all day in a sea of neutrals.
So easy to find.
Yep.
Congratulations, Chris.
Everybody's stoked and running him in. Definitely a fan favorite here. I am so curious to know what happened with Brian, because he was unwavering through Gloriana. He did not look like he was cracking, and then for everything to fall apart in the last 10K like that, it just goes to show. It's like you're pushing that hard, right?
Bring her home. Good.
Chris giving out high fives in celebration as he rounds that quarter.
He's another non-boulder boy.
Yeah, they sort of adopted him, didn't they?
Well, no, I think they haven't. I think that's part of the joke is that Jeshrin isn't technically a boulder boy. Chris is technically not a boulder boy, so it's
they are. They just they aren't.
Someone did point out all top 3 guys in half tights too, so there's something in the water.
So Chris just under 3:31, so he's actually a little bit under those guys in the 100K yesterday.
So all 3 of the top 3 under the 100K time, and that was a course record pace yesterday, so that's pretty impressive.
And you would expect, you have you can burn all your matches in the 50K, whereas the 100K I got to hold back, but it shows just how impressive those 100K athletes are. They're running, very close to what a Chris Myers will do on just a 50K.
Yeah, well, and it's interesting too, because first year of the 50K World Trail Majors, but even compared to the 60K times from previous years, shows the level of competition is increasing, and the shorter distance means that people can push just a little bit harder.
No, I love it. I love the 50K for Black Canyon. I think it's kind of a dawn of a new era for this event and for this event weekend, and it's super exciting to see. And everyone in the live stream. There's Brian. The live stream has been amazing today. I think we had close to 3,000 people for Eric's finish, which is awesome.
How many people were on a bike while they were watching that?
A lot.
There was a lot in the TTL Zwift ride. I think they said it ended just before he finished. So
yeah, and running too.
There's running and bike. Okay, running and biking.
Yeah,
probably Zwift swimming if there's such a thing.
Oh God. So it is good to see that Brian is alive and well. I was definitely worried there for a second. It was akin to we had a Jenna Bensko watch yesterday too, because all of a sudden she just stopped moving effectively on the course, and so. From raging in the top 10 to being gone, basically. So it is always good when you get to see the runner upright and well and making their way into the finish. Not the race that Brian wanted, but I am sure glad to see him running into the finish. Hopefully he didn't take a wrong turn or anything, but excited to see him.
Maybe a little puke stop, who knows?
Fighting it out.
We'll ask all the hard-hitting questions for you guys in our finish line interviews.
Yeah.
And we can just see him now making his way.
What about giving them pinatas? Just something like completely out there as the ticket.
That's fun.
I could be convinced of anything.
And then
I think
there could be a competition to see who can break the pinata
I'll
first.
talk to Chloe about it. We'll come up with something
Yeah,
for you.
we need something good.
Sweet.
Yeah.
We're on it. Hoka's unofficial creative team is on it.
Yeah, no, for those of you in the chat who've enjoyed this coverage presented by Hoka, super grateful for all the support from all our sponsors today, but also just so cool to see the sport leveling up. Shout out to Jamil and the whole crew here at Mountain Outpost for leveling up every race, for bringing us all the latest technology so we can get you these amazing shots. And we have Brian Whitfield making his way into that final little turn.
I would say the red sock, red shoe combo was very helpful for
That's
IDing
kinda
him
fire,
early.
isn't
It was so helpful for IDing him.
Yeah,
as well,
no, I
so.
think it was his wife that was in the chat that gave us that little pro tip on what he was wearing on his feet. But yeah, makes me think I have to sort of put some thought into my race outfits, you know, like gotta make it stand out.
Golden ticket shaped pinata.
There we go.
We're workshopping.
That's where we're at
We're
in
workshopping it.
Chat right now.
Yeah.
Or a set of wings.
Yeah. I mean the windmill is so iconic for Black Canyon.
It's a complicated pinata.
It's a very complicated pinata. Brian Whitfield bringing it home for fourth, giving his buddy Jeshurun a big.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's a face.
Yeah, he was hurting for sure. I'd love to know where those moves are made. We're going to have some serious questions for these guys. But, yeah, amazing work. Really fun to see, you know, Jeshurun and Brian working together for so much of the race. But, you know, huge congrats to Eric for closing that gap and ultimately passing Brian and Chris and just moving into second. And then Chris running an amazing race. All of these guys, really.
So our commentators today, Corinne Malcolm and Hillary Yang. We just had a question in the chat.
Holding it down.
Hello, friends.
We sent the rest of our commentators out into the field today to run the race, and we decided
we kept the A-team. Come on now.
We kept it going. We kept it going. Excited to see Brett. We got actually a string of guys, I think, coming down the hill now. I think that's Jeff Colt in sixth. I think that's.
We might have a little
I
bit
think
of
Jeff
a race
is right behind
here.
him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah, we've got a race here
And that
for,
guy
what is
knows
this,
it.
for fifth
Oh,
position?
oh,
Oh, let's go, let's go.
Wanted.
Jeff Colt.
Let's go, Jeff.
Who was in front of him?
Is this going to be, well, it could be Wade Hall or Kyle Fox. Maybe Kyle Fox, possibly.
Holy
Oh,
crap.
they've gone to their arms.
We've got them going right by us here in the studio.
Who is that going to the arms there? Oh, he's got the green hat and the. I remember seeing him warm up earlier.
Oh, wait, is that Chris?
Is that Chris Leiferman?
That's Chris
Yeah, that's
Leiferman,
Chris
yeah.
Leiferman.
Dude.
Wow, what a
So we got
race.
pro triathlete Chris Leiferman here
And
in
Jeff
fifth
Colt.
place. Jeff Colt trying to run him down. Let's see if he can make it happen
the
here.
only-
It ain't over yet,
The only.
but
well,
Chris is surging.
I think Chris has got a kick.
It might be
He's not
over.
kicking him, yeah.
I mean, you got to remember, Chris came through Gloriana Mine, I think, in ninth.
Oh, yeah, he
and
made up
moved
some
up.
massive ground.
Yeah,
I mean,
he-
they were close. They were all within a minute or two of
He
each
and
other.
Jeff both made moves on that final section. Wow.
Wow, that got me hyped for a minute there.
And then we've got another
Jeff
runner.
was
We've got another
trying.
runner coming in too.
Oh my goodness, these guys were really close together. Yeah, I mean, shout out to Chris, another triathlete with a great performance, but really good kick at the end, too.
We got a comment in the chat. Triathletes know how to finish.
Yeah.
We got Chico
Good.
State coming
There
through.
we go.
All right.
Yeah, these guys were right on top of
Chico
each
State,
other.
I think, was Wade Hall coming through. So coming
Yeah,
in
no, I
for
think you're correct there.
seventh position.
What an incredible first year for this men's 50K.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome racing.
This is so exciting.
And again, it's not going to be. It's only be a moment before Allison Baca makes her way down here
Hyping
too.
So that's
Shout out.
Kyle Fox there in
That
the
is
Chico
Kyle Fox,
State
okay.
singlet.
Yes, he is
Hype,
pumped.
So
hyped up.
he's also overtaken Wade Hall between here and Gloriana
He
Mine.
is
Adam
pumped
B
up.
as well, right? Like Adam
Yeah.
B was very high up there and has fallen off. So there's been some huge moves on the men's side.
So that means we're waiting for Wade Hall, Adam V,
Adam Mary
Adam Mary
for our top 10.
for our top 10 men. Yep.
And then followed shortly thereafter by some of our fan favorites.
Allison Baca. I mean, Brett and Matt.
Obviously, Allison Baca.
Yeah, but very quickly we need to shift this conversation to the women's race.
Yeah, and so I saw Clara walk by, kind of the early crew of Cowgill rolling in here. She's been crewing Carolyn Alcorta. She was the one texting me all the beta,
we
all
got
of the
some
intel.
great inside takes from her. Much appreciated. Shout out, Claire. No, it's been really fun to follow. Both races, and now we get to see the women's race play out. Hopefully in a similarly exciting fashion. I think Allison might be running away with the win at this point unless something really crazy has changed. But, I think certainly that second and third place podium spots are not fully decided yet. And we could potentially see someone different than we expect coming down that final stretch. I mean, even looking at the men's field, like how much changed in that last 10K?
Yeah, I mean,
like
you truly never know with trail ultra running what's going to happen out there. For a little context on time, Riley Brady was through here in 4 hours flat yesterday, leading the race. So that's kind of a benchmark to keep an eye out for. But I think Allison will be quite a bit under that.
I think so too. I mean, right now we're sitting at 9:39, so 21 minutes for Allison to come in under that. And but Riley ran almost 30 minutes under the women's course record pace yesterday. So, we're talking about a blazing fast 100K time into Deep Canyon yesterday. It's not a...
I think we could be close to 350.
Yeah. I think you're probably right about that. Should be just in the next few minutes, but we are excited to see that come in. Should we give Brett a mic when he comes around the corner and make him do commentary as he
Can we get a wireless mic in the house?
Do we have a wireless mic? That would be amazing.
Let's get a POV on him.
Do we have a wireless mic by any chance? Brett Hornig.
And he could do POV down the last stretch. We're talking to our studio team.
We're sort of kidding, but not really.
They're looking at us like, what are you talking about?
They're like,
Anyways, maybe next year we'll level up. We'll give our top finishers mics and hear them breathing their way in.
Just hand them a mic for the final tour through the village.
How are you feeling as you try to sprint to the finish? Yeah, no, it has been a ton of fun. Look at this beautiful drone shot. Again, shout out to our amazing team manning the cameras tirelessly. Race coverage is not easy, you guys. I work on the media side, and it is hard to get these shots. There's not a lot of cell phone coverage out there, so just the fact that we're able to bring this to you is amazing, and I'm always in awe of what we're able to pull off out there. So, yeah, amazing job to the whole team in the field today. And it looks like, the fun thing about this course, you can see the people in front of you with all these switchbacks. Looks like we have a couple runners winding their way around.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, Matt Ison was making big moves as well, so I'm wondering if he's moved up into this group. But again, we're waiting for Wade Hall, Adam Mary, Adam V, the race of the Adams. There's so many races within the race today, Jamil. Like there's the fast media guy race going on. There's the who's the best triathlete race going on. We've got a lot of internal race stuff happening.
Yeah, it's been surprisingly exciting to follow this event just from multiple angles. I love it.
Yeah, so we've got, I think, 2 runners in shot right now making their way down towards the finish line here. They'll be here in just a moment. Honestly, Matt Ison might be the second guy on our screen. He was wearing a pack. That's what you get, folks. It's like, was he wearing a pack? Was it blue?
Right, I know. I'm identifying everybody by a piece of clothing.
This would be M8 rounding the corner. You got 2 men both coming down to the finish.
Yeah, we'll see who these guys are. We've got a fun new teaser for you guys in a second here from Cocodona, but we'll try to cover our guys.
I want to see if we can sneak it in before Allison's finished. Maybe let's do it. Should we do it real quick?
How long is it?
Real quick, it's like 15 seconds.
You've got 15 seconds?
We're going to play a quick teaser for an upcoming film we're releasing.
Not every runner runs in the rain.
To have a truly competitive 200-plus mile race that we were able to watch unfold and follow along is something that you can only dream about. All right.
All righty.
We got some men finishing, but that quick little teaser, we have a full trailer coming out for what will be a feature-length film on the 2024 Cocodona 250, and we are doing a film tour, all those locations on your screen. You can also find them at the Cocodona website if you click on the Chase film.
And
We're excited to be
Brett
bringing
Hornig.
it to you all.
We have runners coming in. We had Matt Ison just went by, and
And
then
Brett Hornig. Brett
Very-
Hornig's going to get a top
Brett
10
on screen
finish.
here.
There we go. Our,
Yeah, Brett! Come on!
our beloved field reporter Brett Hornig, who was rocking the Hoka tracksuit all day yesterday, just coming into the very last section
I
here.
think he's going to be M10.
That was
Yeah.
Wade Hall, who just came across in that blue jersey.
Yeah, I think it's Wade Hall, Matt Ison, Brett Hornig
What
as
was Brett split
8,
from
9,
last
10.
year for the 50K?
I
So
don't
We'll have
know.
to look that up later. But, I mean, amazing race for Brett in a very competitive field, and he moved up a lot. And it looks like now they're coming in fast and furious. We've got more guys on this last straightaway. We've got a clean shot here from the studio, which is fun.
Is that Allison
Is that
Baca?
Allison?
I think
That
we
may-
got. I
we
think we
might
have
have our
Allison Baca
F1.
F1 coming
Oh
in.
my God.
Allison
Yes, it
Baca.
is.
Where is Zach Marion?
We have our first female, you guys. She is in the very last section. She is giving these guys a run for their money. She passed Adam Mary.
Okay, get off Brett. Zach.
Let's get on it.
Allison
Okay, here we go.
Baca, she just passed Adam Mary. The guy in front of her is checking behind him as he sees her approaching. She's probably going to catch him. It's
I
pretty close.
think so.
I don't know. She is flying.
Holy cow!
You guys, it is. We are 3 hours and 44 minutes on the clock. She is ahead of all pace predictions for this
Breaking
race.
all records today.
We thought sub 4. She's going like
We thought just under 4. The
Maybe
the pacing
350.
chart thought 350. She's gonna run just over 345.
this is wild. Look at her go.
And that guy's gonna
It's gonna
just
be a
hold her
split
off.
yeah. Holy
Allison
crap.
Baca.
Allison.
Your women's champion today in the 50K, Allison Baca.
What an incredible race. I am blown away. She was F19 she was 19 overall, sorry, F1 at Bumblebee, and she's moved all the way up to just outside the top 10 for the men. It's an
Nasty.
incredible performance. That is nasty.
That deserves a nasty. Wow, Allison Baca crushing
Gave
it.
me goosebumps watching her. She was flying. Wow. Oh my goodness. Yeah. We can hear the commentator here jubilate the finish, just saying give it up for Allison, and we'd also like to do that on the air because she deserves it. That was an incredible performance. And a very stout women's course record to set for year one of the 50K.
Yeah,
hey?
this is a solid time. This is going to be an interesting, because this is kind of a long 50K too, right? Like I know it's not downhill, but it's technically a little bit long, isn't it?
It might be a little bit long.
Yeah.
Like a little over 31.
Yeah, we'll
By a
see. I'll
smidge.
see if I can pull some Stravas here in a second.
Yeah, it's punchy too, you know. And this last section was, seemed a little on the rocky side. We saw some tripping from our men's winner, Jeshroon. Like, it didn't seem like it was just all smooth sailing. And if your quads are blown, you're trying to take those descents really fast. It's a tough course to finish strong like that. And for her to still be picking off amazing runners like Adam Mary and all these guys that she's passed in the last 10K. It's incredible. Absolutely unreal. Allison, congrats on your win. We are blown away by you.
Wow, what a phenomenal
I'm
run.
so excited. Like,
That
come on.
was-
Like, to stick with these, like, to be this high up in the field, too, on such a fast race, and just to be, looking so strong at the finish. Like, she looks like she could have kept going, you know? Maybe she'll want to run the 100K next year. What do you think?
Give her the pinata.
Yeah, give her the pinata.
Let's make it happen. Yes, finishing just about 20 minutes behind our first and second place men, essentially. So, again, Jeshroon took the win in 3:22.52 ahead of Eric Lagerstrom, 3:25.41, Chris Myers, 3:30.50, Brian Whitfield, 3:34.16, Chris Leiferman out kicking everyone for a 3:36 finish in fifth, Jeff Colton, sixth, 3:36.58, 10 seconds between those two men. Kyle Fox in 7th, Wade Hall in 8th, Matt Ison in that button down in 9th, Brett Hornig sprinting it in for 10th, Allison Baca making it happen. I think technically Adam V finished just ahead of her, M11, and then Allison Baca followed by Adam Mary. Yeah. Allison again, official time 3:45:09.
Picked off like 6 or 7 guys in the last 10K.
Here comes Max into the finish line.
Oh, there we go. All right. For those of you following Max,
Satisfy's own Max is on his way to the finish line right now. He's going to be finishing in 13th male, 14th overall. Max on his way to the finish line.
There's a second backpack right outside there. Okay. There's a cam link in that backpack. Feel free to steal it.
The cotton tee doing work today.
Yeah. He looks like he's still dry. Like, he doesn't look like he was sweating at all. Some of these guys are just like...
That's that Cocodona prep.
It's barely a warm-up for him.
Yeah. Cocodona training run, you know? Yeah, he's probably just feeling good now. You know?
Yeah. No, he's like
that's how
up.
That's how I felt about Annie Hughes yesterday when she came through here at mile 32. I was like, you know, that's like, you're like maybe getting warmed up now.
Totally, yeah. This was your version of our like 10-minute warm-up. Yeah, amazing run by Max. Really solid race, too. I felt like he was very in control. Probably, like, very much with the day he wanted, which is a good tune-up before Cocodona, a chance to stretch his legs out, get some speed back in there. And we should be seeing our second place women coming in fairly shortly.
The gap was about 7 minutes at the last aid station, so we've got a little bit of time.
And then Allison also picked it up again.
Yeah.
So it could be closer to 10 minutes between the two.
That's my guess. My guess is we're looking at about a 10-minute spread. We've got another runner making their way down the straight out here. I wish this black screen was slightly more see-through. Maybe they just cut one little window into it for us.
Yeah, cut a little hole so you can look out. Have a telescope. But we can see, it's really fun, from our vantage point at the studio at the finish line, we can see the runners coming down this last stretch.
But
or see the outline
but it's
of
a little
the runners.
blurry, yeah.
Pixelated runners.
It's Moy. Moy's coming in now.
Oh, nice. Yeah, great run by Moy as well.
Jeshurun just gave the most awkward two-handed shake to his compatriots up there on the podium.
I mean, we saw in that last shot that he looked like his coordination was maybe a little bit off there. So.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Awesome run by these guys. They should all
Do
be
you guys
very
have a
proud
visual of Carolyn? Aha, look who we have on our screen. Second place, Carolyn is flying down towards the finish line.
Oh.
Ooh.
She's been running like this, though, Jamil, the entire time.
Wow.
Like, somewhat out of control.
Like, she's living on the edge there.
Yeah, this will be a sub-4 finish as well. Amazing.
Incredible. Both these women coming in with such solid times. Man, you know that feeling where you just kind of take the brakes off? You can see it in her arms,
well,
like
it's
she's loose.
Such a fun way to finish a race with a nice big downhill.
Yeah.
Part of it's pretty steep and rocky.
Yeah.
You can come up here if you want.
You got outkicked by a traffic.
You said you would come on the couch, right?
Yeah.
Watching Carolyn just come down this last stretch, she's got her arms going probably for balance because you can see she's really just letting her legs go. Her quads are probably hanging on for dear life right now as she comes down this final stretch.
Carolyn Alcorta is going to round this corner. We're going to hear the Cowgill crew lose their minds. Wow, what a run. Carolyn Alcorta. We're going to remember this name.
Oh, yeah, dude.
She's gone to the arms. She is sprinting.
She's giving it everything she's got.
They said earlier, you know, she knows it's a 50K, right?
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, she's going to run this way the whole time.
She's going to run every 10K like it's the Olympic time trials 10K. But yeah, she's got speed in those legs, and credit to her for keeping that up the entire race. It's been so inspiring to watch her. And I mean, her hydrating paid off, right? Like, she was really taking the time to cool off and take care of herself. And I think that's always really impressive.
Yeah, we were
knew
worried.
what she needed.
The frazzle meter felt high.
But she hung on.
There are only 2 Cowgill members here, I want to point out, and that is the noise you hear behind us.
You can see the look on her face.
That's a track racer for you.
Yeah. There is she is just looking at that finish line and staring it down.
She is absolutely flying.
Wow. I just love seeing that, you've given it everything. She's gone to the well. You can see it on her face. She is, get me to that finish line. Using every last ounce of her strength to get there. And still moving so fast. Look at that. She's got
Cowgill
one last
crew.
little kick. Oh.
She can't be stopped. She's
I
going
know.
to keep
I love
going.
it. It took her a little bit to hit the brakes there.
That's
We got
Luke
the
Webster.
Homemade Satisfy coming in.
Wow, Carolyn, what a run.
Oh, he got the cramping. I was talking about that. When you come down that last ascent, it is so steep and it's easy to blow your quads out. And we are seeing that as...
Oh, no, Luke. You guys can't see this because we're focusing on Carolyn, which we should be, and the Cowgill crew, but one of our favorite media guys is fully seized up about 300 meters from the finish line right now with full body.
Cannot walk.
Can't move.
Oh, my goodness.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, that's Luke.
But, just going back to Caroline and just so fun to see her with her crew and soaking up this moment. She worked so hard to get here. She fought so hard. She pulled off an amazing race. I feel like she also sped up in that last 10K. She also made up some time. And
she pushed really hard.
Really hard. Yeah, both of these ladies.
Oh, they're getting some help getting those handhelds off there.
Oh, that's funny. Speaking of muscles cramping, right?
Oh, he's running.
Just needed a regroup.
All right, we got this nice drone shot reminding us of this last section of the course as our runners make their way in.
This is F3. Okay.
Jeff's mic's hot too if you want to move them in.
Okay, we believe we have F3 coming in.
But that's changed because that was Jennifer before.
And that does
Jennifer's
not look
all
like
in
Jennifer.
black.
Jennifer's in black.
No. There has been some changes here. What have we got?
No, that's not.
No,
That's a
that
blonde
can't be.
man.
Yeah. all
He's
right.
got a
Just
must.
great
I'm
hair.
pretty sure this is.
Great hair, dude.
He's got good hair, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure he's got blonde floppy hair and a blonde mustache. We're looking for F3.
Yes. We expect it, unless something's changed, we think it'll be Jennifer.
And she's in a black and white pack and black top and bottoms.
Yeah. Let's go send a drone to find her.
It's okay. Our drone pilot's course correcting.
That's what happens. It's so windy out there, you know?
You
can't
never
tell
know.
what's up and down.
Everyone gets to claim one color to run in, and we'll go from there.
No white, no black.
Yeah, we're done with those colors.
Well, it's been so much fun. The energy at the finish line, you guys, has just gone ratcheted up. Shout out to the Cowgill crew with the cowbells. And
There
we go. That's Jennifer, right?
I think the Cowgill crew is actually shaping running apparel, and any company that just wants to guarantee sell a bunch of one item should just make it cow print.
Yeah.
If one item makes cow print socks, they're going to sell a bunch automatically to
I mean,
200
I'd buy
people in
it.
Seattle.
Are they going to get a cease and desist though?
Oh, come on. Cows are friendly. Cows share. We don't copyright cows. Got Jeff Colt joining us in the studio here, if you're wondering who the hoarse but friendly voice is, joining our little team here as we watch what we believe is our third place woman.
Yeah, no, this is our third
this
place
is
woman, and we
Jennifer.
think it's Jennifer.
I'm pretty sure it's Jennifer. I think she added a bandana that might be throwing us off. I think she grabbed an ice bandana.
Yeah, I know. Initially, I was like that. Like the kit top looked like Robin Lesh almost with
That would be a
the yellow Vibram
huge-
logo. But she would have made
Yeah.
a huge move if that was the case.
No, I think it's still...
She's
So
making that look
Jennifer.
really easy.
She is, right?
It didn't feel that way,
It
did it,
did
Jeff?
not feel
No.
like this.
Yeah. Was it that smooth, Jeff, for you?
Not necessarily. I'm glad she had a little effort going through that dip there. Gravity really gets you on that final downhill.
Yeah, just
and then
trying
you
to
hit the
control
flat,
legs.
and it's not quite as extreme as something like Kendall Mountain Run, but it's pretty extreme. You come down and you expect yourself to be able to sprint the final quarter mile to the finish.
It's a little further than you think.
Someone thinks it's Robin as well.
Molasses.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too.
Really?
Oh, that's definitely a Vibram logo.
Yeah, I think that's Robin Lesh.
Oh,
If that's
wow.
the case, she's made a huge move.
Because she was sitting in like
Seventh.
seventh.
Yeah, someone also thinks it's Robin.
Okay,
So
well, hey, if that's Robin, then we've had a huge change happen in the women's field. But whoever it is moving incredibly well, coming down.
it's not Imogen. It's not Kristen.
It's either Jennifer or it's Robin.
I mean,
Who is our
Robin was only 2 minutes back at Gloriana Mine.
true,
so
true.
that is a
Yeah.
Vibram logo. That's Robin Lesh.
Wow, what a race! I told you the women's third place was not decided.
Very much not decided.
Yeah, that was a
She's
huge
just
shakeup.
popping out here.
Yep.
We need our telescope. All right, Zach Marion's with her. Zach, let's get
She's
some.
a great 50K runner, but she's definitely a name that is not as well known, but coming through again today with a clutch third place finish.
Holy crap! Oh, hat tip to Robin.
Yeah.
What a beautifully
Yeah, that's
executed race.
definitely Robin Lesh.
Yeah, incredible.
2062.
Nice one.
Dang.
Wow, moving from 6th at Gloriana Mine into 3rd place here, overtaking Jennifer Schmidt, Imogene, and Kristen in the process.
Yeah, this is really cool to see. She's moving so well. No leg cramps in sight for Robin. Super smooth stride.
I think she ran the Teruera 50K last year. I was talking to her about it. She looks so smooth.
She looks great. Ugh, good to see. She's got a huge smile on her face as she goes by. She knows she earned it. What a move by Robin. She would have had to just be flying by these ladies on this last section, you know? Absolute crusher. Someone says in the chat that she was crewing Tara Dower all day, so she was on her feet in the heat out there, and then came out here and just threw down.
Yeah, part of that Durango
It was like
community.
like Chris Myers was also third place, and she came in third. So both the
Both the crews
showed
made
up
it
well
happen.
today. Yeah,
Nice
great finish.
work.
Ah, the relief.
Oh, we're happy. She's happy to
The
be
relief,
done.
Yes. Is that not the best feeling in the world? Like, I don't know if there's anything better. Ah,
That's so awesome. Congratulations, Robin. That's a great photo. Whoever got that photo.
yeah, they're loving it.
I can see Sean hovering with the
Howie's
camera
back there, too.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Oh,
So happy for Robin. That women's race was really fun. And look, she
really
came
interesting.
we're at 4:01 on the clock. I want to see her split because it was very close to that 4-hour mark too.
Yeah, that's super, super impressive.
Have all top 3 women.
That's
coming
Tara
in that
Dower right
class.
there.
There we go.
Supporting her crew today.
Yeah.
Love to see
She
it.
had a shorter day.
Yeah, that's Katrina Hartmuth there. Just getting the hug from pretty decent runner.
Yeah, you know, got some good people in your corner. That's for sure.
That's so awesome.
Wow. Oh, so impressed with Robin.
Wow, that
We-
that Durango community's setting up pretty strong.
Yeah. That's the tip. We got to move to Colorado.
Yeah,
Gotta get
that was the
altitude in.
last pinata claimed, Jamil.
Yep. There we go.
Robin claimed the 3rd pinata into the 100K. Oh, we've decided that we're giving out golden tickets for the 100K from the 50K.
Yeah.
So
In
you get
pinatas.
into the 100K next year.
Yeah.
Yes, but they're going to be pinatas.
And then there should be a prize for whoever smashes their pinata first. So we've got
Nice.
layers to this.
I was proposing to Craig yesterday that if you win a golden ticket, that's your handicap at Western States, is you have to run with the entire golden ticket.
On your back or
However you want.
However.
If you want to make an outfit out of it, or if you want to carry it under your arm the whole way, just like, let's keep this.
You might have someone bash you with a golden ticket as they go by for that suggestion.
Let's keep it a participatory sport and bring down some of these elites.
You can use it as a raft.
Okay, here we go. Fourth female making her way down the hill. Is that Kristen? The longer pony?
Sounds right.
Yeah, I mean,
Sounds
I think
like
she
it tracks.
also made some moves.
I mean, that whole group was together, right?
It was within 2 minutes at Gloriana.
Yeah, that's together, ostensibly.
Wow.
Jeff, does that feel like that's together to you?
Jennifer,
You were
Imogen,
experiencing
Kristen,
that.
and Robin. Yeah, it was 2 minute gap.
It's hard to know out there actually how close people are to you. This is such an amazing course for anyone who hasn't been down here. It's incredibly windy. And sometimes it looks like that person's only 25 feet away.
I think that's Imogen.
When they might actually be 2 minutes, and there's just a lot of squiggles between you and them. So, yeah,
that's Imogen getting that shot. Yeah,
I
it's
also
hard.
Love having just run that 50K and having not run it as fast as the top men in the 100K yesterday. Just like
How's
really
that feeling?
I mean, it's a little humbling, but I accepted it around mile 27 and just saw my fate, and that was all right.
Had a moment.
Yeah.
I mean, it just goes to show the caliber of racing out here. It's like 100K, 50K, whatever it is, like these paces are being pushed so hard. Because I'm sure today felt pretty fast for you, Jeff, right?
Today felt pretty fast. I hit 10 miles, and I looked at my watch, and it was 59:58. And I was like, I haven't run 10 miles under 6 minute pace in a while.
Wow.
That's cool.
Painful.
Yeah, we did like a 6 mile tempo in training the other day, and that was about it.
And I almost hit 6 minute averages. But yeah, in the men's race, Jesh and Eric and Brian took it out really hard. And it was so impressive seeing how well Chris Myers stuck to them and was able to maintain contact.
We've got Imogen coming into the final section here.
I think it's cool, just like the Durango Salida community. I feel like we got some folks showing up out here this weekend. It's really cool.
Salida's popping off.
Yeah, it seems like the place to be.
Yeah.
All my friends are moving there.
Yeah, half of Carbondale moved there.
Tell everybody.
That's called gatekeeping. We don't do that here.
Okay, fine. Everybody move to Salida. All right, Imogen coming across the finish line as our fourth female, Imogen Ainsworth, running an amazing race. She looks happy with that.
Yeah, the Brit.
Yeah.
The Brit living in Salida, giving the Colorado gal a big hug, saying, I'll see you in a workout soon. Zach Marion looks absolutely shelled in studio. She just missed the Olympic qualifying standard in the 10K last year.
Yeah, for those of us in the studio, Zach Marion just came in from running in some of the leaders and said that Caroline was the fastest of everyone he ran in, and she just missed the Olympic time trials qualifier for a 10K, which is a pretty friggin' fast qualifier. So
Caroline Alcorta?
34?
Something.
Yeah, like 34 minutes, something like that. It's pretty crazy fast. But anyways, he's drenched in sweat. He's had his workout for the day.
I think he started that cold, too, which wasn't great.
I told him to do high knees. I did.
Someone said I can rent their place in Salida. I might take them up on that. Be careful what you offer me, people.
New training grounds.
1593 coming through the finish line there, giving high fives. It sounds like we might have Ariel of F5. That was Ryan Hansen who just crossed the finish line, though, I believe. That's Kristen, right? That's an arm tat?
Gloves on?
Yes, gloves and an arm tat.
Yeah. Well, the gloves are still on. So
well,
there you
maybe
go.
she's pulling a Lin Chen. Lin Chen like always runs in gloves, and I wonder if they're just soaked down / cacti / falling. Like
it's not the worst idea in the world, right?
Yeah.
Like
Jennifer, Kristen.
Yeah, so we don't know where Jennifer is. I think that's the.
She's the MIA right now.
There's a bit of a gap. So
Yeah, definitely nice to see some more of our ladies come through again. Still posting really fast times, just over 4 hours here at the finish.
Yeah, stellar running.
Really, really good. You know, and it's interesting. There's a little bit of cloud cover rolling in now, which could really benefit the rest of the 50K field. Just seeing a little bit of relief from the sun out there. I wonder how that'll play out for everybody else that's out there and racing and enjoying the live band at Bumblebee.
So 3 guys ran faster than yesterday.
But yeah, these runners coming in are still looking really, really strong.
Yeah, Kristen looks super strong, making her way to the finish line. Going to be finishing in that
Good year.
5th position.
For the 50K, I'd say.
It's an awesome course, man. It's
Yeah.
so good.
I'm sure it was early too. There was I think over 3,000 people that finished watching. It was well over 2,000 most of the day.
That's awesome.
It's really solid.
Yeah.
That's like
Here comes Kristen in 5th. So Jennifer Schmidt, that's who we'll be looking for next on the women's side. Have not got her yet.
Yeah. Kristen just going by us in the studio.
Yeah. I told them all yeah, I can.
I love all the
get
glitter.
over
She's
here.
got glitter on her
Great.
face too.
I can
Everyone's
get
glittered up.
I love it.
Oh, there you go.
And in just a few minutes, we are going to gather our top men here in the studio.
I think we're just going to take them one at a time. I don't think we're
Okay.
bringing them all
right.
in.
We're gonna gather
Bye, Jeff.
our men
Oh,
and do
go
some
stretch or
interviews
something.
with our top
I got
guys.
text from your wife about your hair, FYI. Jen Schmidt coming in now, too.
There we go.
she
There
comes.
is. She looks like she's hurting a little bit, but yeah, it's still moving strong. You can always tell when the arms really come out in that last little bit.
we say
right?
you're going to your arms.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
When you're pushing so hard that's kind of all that you have left to go with.
What if I start with my arms? Because I feel like maybe that's my mistake.
Yeah, you gotta keep those things
Train
relaxed.
more with my legs and my arms.
Alrighty, we're gonna keep things at least at minimum picture-in-picture, but we are joined in studio by today's 2nd place finisher, Eric Lagerstram. It should be hot, yeah.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm pretty sore.
I just have to say that a whole slew of triathletes discovered trail running today, and I think everyone
Sorry.
on the TTL Zwift ride was also watching Black Canyon.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That
Can
makes
confirm. You'll have to go back and look at it all. It was popping off.
sense. Oh, okay. That's awesome. Oh, I love it. Thanks everybody.
Yeah, Paula was in the chat periodically. It was awesome.
Nice. Well, hopefully you guys are excited about that. I hope some new people are finding it because it's a blast. I love it.
Yeah, I want to give a quick shout out to Jen Schmidt making her way in. Had a tough last section, but getting it done. Still, again, 4:10 elapsed, screaming fast times. Eric, you kind of blew our minds for a second out there when all of a sudden the Gloriana Mine split came through, and you went from having been like 2-ish minutes back, hanging out with Chris Meyer, and then all of a sudden you were 30 seconds down on the top two men, and we weren't sure if that was wrong or not. Like it was so surprising that we were like,
Yeah.
is this accurate? Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about that section and all of a sudden finding yourself with those guys.
Yeah, I was feeling pretty good. I don't know if a caffeine gel hit or what. Probably like 5K before a Bumblebee. And I worked my way up to Chris and just like tried to chill a little bit, and then ultimately did go around him with like maybe a K to go before Bumblebee. Immediately made a wrong turn.
Nice.
And like got back and got back in focus, but I think that kind of made me pretty mad, and I was at the same time starting to feel pretty good, so probably ran a little bit too fast out of Bumblebee, but that was kind of the plan I've been formulating up until that point in the race. Like, I'm feeling pretty good at Bumblebee. I'm just gonna go for it and see what happens. It's only an hour and 20 minutes from there. That's how long I run into triathlon. Like, let's just see what happens.
It's
from there.
familiar.
So
Yeah.
did you sort of like reset in your brain, like pretend I haven't just run for the last couple hours? I'm just going to go and hammer this out and like.
Yeah, that's what I did at the first 50K. My last 50K that I did, same thing. I was like, all right, first 30 minutes, that's kind of like the swim or whatever. The next 2 hours, I'm going to treat and think like, how do I feel when I'm on the bike? And then an hour and 10 to go, get kind of risky.
Kind of love that. Like
Yeah.
equating it all to your try times really helps break it down.
Yeah, and then add on to that, like this trail is so cool with the different segments feeling totally different, and everything was like broken up, and there's like kind of obvious segments. It made it fly by.
That's so cool. One thing that we talked about on Friday was that you've run 150K before, but that was a time trial essentially. Like you ran
Yeah.
by yourself off the front. We knew today was going to be different, that you were going to be in the mix, ideally with a bunch of fast guys. Talk about like having to maybe adjust to a different racing environment?
Yeah, I was up last night, pretty freaked out about it because I've never come off the bike and started to run really fast in triathlons. I've never been a good starter in the water, like swimming. I always like warm up into things. So I was a little bit nervous about that, and people were like, "Oh, there's a 2:18 marathoner here," and I just had no idea what to expect. But it was like a little bit more reasonable than I thought. I was imagining like people were going to drop a 67-second quarter on the track, and we were just. I was like going to kind of be yo-yoing between like a pack and the lead pack, but I actually ran with Chris Lieferman, another triathlete.
Yeah, he had an outstanding kick to finish.
Yeah, he like hardly runs trails. I don't think he's ever done a trail race to my knowledge. Sorry, Chris, if you have. But we ran together and we're chatting, and I could see Chris up a little ways the first 10K, and then just run, and I don't know who else was the top.
Yeah, Brian Whitfield was the guy in the red shoes.
Yeah,
if you remember seeing that out there, the other kind of tall, lanky guy.
There were like 3 of them together, like way off in the distance, and I was kind of mentally prepared for that. Like some people are going to go bonkers. I just want to be around somebody who I figured Chris would pace pretty well, just since it seems like the 100K is more his thing, and he's like got tops, like he's like 6th at Western. So
yeah, I think Chris Meyer was 10th. He like got in there last year.
Okay.
He had to hold off a sprint on the track last year to hold on to 10th.
I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I kind of figured if I could be around him or like keep him in eyesight for a while, that would be a little bit annoying at any point in time. But he was incredibly good pacer, and
yeah, I mean that beacon was great for us because we could actually tell who it was. Versus like the 3 men in white to start was pretty difficult.
Yeah, no, I think you guys need to, or like if anybody who runs these teams are paying attention, like let athletes like get a custom kit or something, because I feel the same way. Like, is that Eli or like one of the other Adidas athletes or whatever? But in triathlon, we all have completely unique one-off kits, and it makes it pretty easy.
Yeah, we're gonna give a quick shout out to Corinne Shalvoy, who's making her way into the finish. Corinne did infield commentary all day yesterday before waiting for her husband at the finish line yesterday to finish the 100K. So Corinne Shalvoy kicking it home.
Yeah.
Outstanding work.
Good little stride there.
Okay, so you knew what to expect a little bit. You didn't completely fall apart out there. Your expectation was like to see what was in your legs in the final, like 10K or so. Like mission accomplished. Are we going to see you at more of these things?
Yeah, I think so.
How the Jackson effect work?
I'm kind of in a phase of my career where I want to try all sorts of different endurance things, and this is an absolute blast. And I think I'll, maybe lean into this a little bit more now that it seems to be going okay. But yeah, it's really exciting to be back in that phase that I was in early in my triathlon career, like.
Learning.
Oh wow, like it's really obvious what I need to work on. Like I could barely run downhill that last 10K, and if I work on that, then it seems like it's really obvious improvement available. And that's been a long time since I experienced that in triathlon. It's just like year after year after year, you're like 1%. So.
Yeah, that is cool to have that incentive to like work at something again and to challenge yourself.
Yeah.
Do you feel like your nutrition strategy translated over from the tri world? Did you mix it up specifically for the run? How did that play out?
The nutrition is super stressful for me because in a triathlon, you can carry everything you want on the bike, no problem. There's an aid station every kilometer. It's so simple. And this is like, oh man, am I going to be able to get stuff there? Am I going to overheat? And I'm texting every person that I know who's ever done an ultra and asking them for advice. But for the most part, yeah, like that aid station at 19.4 was perfect. I went through 2 flasks by there that each had 90 grams of carbs in them, plus a gel, and picked up 2 more of those. And at no point was I like having a GI issue or anything, which was super exciting, and my energy felt awesome. It's just like I need to go like run down some mountains as hard as I can.
Yeah, so we decided today during the race that we're going to make Jamil offer quote-unquote golden tickets to the 100K, to the top 3 in the 50K, so the 100K for next year.
Okay.
Currently, we're like workshopping an idea where we give you pinatas to make this happen, but if we offered you a 100K entry next year, do you think we could talk you into it?
Well, with 1 year, with 1 year to get ready, I think I feel fine right now with the exception of the muscular fatigue, and I feel like coming through here 5 minutes slower and more pounding on the legs, like it's possible. So I'm not over trail running right now. I could go back out for a little more.
Well, if you go back and look through the chat, your fans all want this for you. So
yeah, they even
everybody
threw
calm
Paula
down.
in there. They said Paula had to do the 50. Sweet. Okay, next year.
There you go.
150.
Boy.
It's so much fun to see you out here. We honestly love seeing you guys come into our sport and broaden it to a new audience, and also just like appreciate what we have here. I don't think I would do nearly as well transferring over to the triathlon world. It's not fair.
Yeah, if there are any trail runners that want to come, you can do it Xterra. I was actually just talking to Chris Myers. He just got a gravel bike, so
there you go.
Everybody give him some peer pressure to do.
Swimming is like failed drowning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean there are duathlons. You can do duathlon.
And biking is what we do when we're injured.
Okay, we'll let you go get some food, get into some dry clothes. Congratulations. We can't wait to see what you do next.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Hopefully see you next year.
All right. Yeah, 100K next year.
Here we go. Nice. We're going to let Eric go. We got Brett Hornig in studio. I think we need the second fastest media guy.
Heyo.
I know.
All right,
I
we're
saw
going to get
that.
Brett's hot takes on running and whether he regrets not wearing a tracksuit for the run.
And we've got Melody Gilbert coming in right now as well.
Nice.
Bringing it home from Quebec. Amazing job. We'll see you at Western States.
Hi, Brett.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going great.
I wish that we could have mic'd you up during the race because
we talked about giving you a wireless mic for the final 400 meters.
I was going so much harder than last year. It would have just sounded like the Miller versus Hawks video of Zach just breathing, just like that was me for like the last 2 hours.
That's what people want, Brett.
Yeah. No.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
People were concerned that maybe being in a sweatsuit all day yesterday, they started calling you Sweat Hornig in the chat.
Oh, that's cool.
They're a little bit worried about maybe that had done you in.
I am so dehydrated right now. It's bad.
It's bad.
It's bad. I know people were asking like, "Where's Brett and Druckton?" I'm gonna be there all night.
Yeah, you'd never leave.
Right under the faucet.
Yeah, I just.
We want to point out, I guess, question for you. When did you get to witness Allison Baca's outstanding kick?
So.
No, you held her off ever so slightly.
Yeah, and that was almost a massive disaster.
Like within a couple hundred meters, I think.
Yeah, and it was from the final river crossing, the big wash. You could like when I went up 2 switchbacks, you could see down, and I saw her there, and she was charging so hard with.
The kit is nice, right? Like
I think they're cool.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, we're calling them the fish scales, and then Carolyn, who finished second there. Zach Marion was in here earlier and looking absolutely wrecked. And he said that Carolyn was by far the hardest person to stick with on this finishing stretch, that she was going absolutely to the well. Maddie Pfeiffer's coming in behind us too here, working on rounding out our women's top 10.
We got to make it a Strava segment.
It needs to be a Strava segment.
Yeah, me and Skylar were talking about that the other day.
Yeah, because this is the first year where the race is finishing here in Deep Canyon at 50K instead of doing the little loop and coming back. So I do feel like, for one, I'd love your thoughts on just the change in the course, change in the pace, and how it played into your day. But also, like, I think it's like awesome to have it just be the straight shot to Deep Canyon.
Yeah. Even though I ran the 60K last year, and I should know better, I also ran the final few miles of this course on Friday. I still kicked up the wrong climb, which was I learned some things about myself.
No, why did I do that?
I finished all my food, drank all my water, hammered up out of the final, the river crossing, got to the top, and then realized 2 things. 1, it was a false flat, so I wasn't actually done. And 2, that was not the right climb to come down to the finish. So then it was like...
Too soon.
Just praying and hoping for the best to finally hit that final rocky descent. And fortunately, the legs pretty much held it together.
Yeah.
It was funny.
That's so funny when you're just like, oh no, do I have that extra little bit, right? Like you're sort of calculated.
And then I started getting in my head, I was like, this is how it happens. I drank all my water. I have no food.
This is how I die.
Turns out it's actually 100K today, and Deep Canyon Ranch is in 7 miles, and I just like don't know what's happening.
Wanted to update the chat real quick that Maddie Pfeiffer, who just came in, who you're seeing on your screen there on the left-hand side, I believe is finishing in F9 today out of Vermont. So we're almost through our women's top 10. Oh, yeah, we want Chris.
I feel like, Chris should come in here.
Chris. I think, were you trying to go somewhere else?
Calling in Chris Myers to the studio.
You'd come join us.
But yeah, no, we're still waiting on our last female to round out the top 10. But Maddie ran in a racing race too. She moved up into the top 10.
I mean, under what, like 420-ish and change? Like that's
very fast.
Yeah. This is a fast race.
Yeah.
I mean, that's doesn't need saying, I guess, but
the last 10K too was really fun because the predicted times were all way off because everyone just like hit it with some carnage, but like
yeah, it was faster than I thought it was going to be.
Faster than you wanted it to be, Brett?
Yeah. I was like, oh, it'll be really fun. I'm going to go out with the leaders like the first mile and a half until it hits trail, and then I'll back off, or I'll feel amazing and just stick with them. I didn't even make it to the trail. Like
you're like, huh?
I was gone. I was off the back at that point.
How does it feel reflecting on the fact that they ran through here faster than that yesterday in the 100K?
I know. That's the thing. I'm like,
how did they run so fast?
I can't even run that fast on the trail there. Like, I'm not, like, coordinated enough for the squigglies. This whole time I felt like the kid brother chasing, like, the older brother and, like, his group of friends. Because there was just, like, this nice pack up there. And then, like, 2 minutes, and then me, I'm like, hey, guys, wait up. And then they were just like, F off.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, bye.
Yeah, I'll see you at the finish.
Yeah.
We'll chat then.
Oh, incredibly sad. Well, we'll let you go. I don't know, like wash the salt off your face, or
are you gonna put the tracksuit back on?
Put the sweatsuit back on.
I have it. Yeah, so probably.
Yeah. Why don't you?
I want to go clean up. I don't want to get the inside dirty because maybe I'll wear it inside out.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. Let's get the
fashion from Brett Hornig.
That's it for Sweat Hornig.
I want to congratulate Chris on his run today because we're both half Asian, and he was the fastest half Asian today. So
There were so many races within the race. We had fast media guys. We had the fastest half Asian. We had the triathlon battle. We had the. I don't know that I'm allowed to say any of that on air. I'm so sorry, but
yeah,
you guys battled it out.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm gonna get canceled. Okay, Brett,
right.
go clean up.
Get
Chris
up here.
Myers
looking
in the house.
So bright.
People will get it.
There's no screen. There's no picture in picture, so you're stuck.
So sad. We missed your handoff. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so we've got Chris Myers on the couch in studio, and then we'll have Allison Baca in studio after that. We're really excited. They're gonna put his picture in picture so we can keep one shot going on the finish line, and then us in studio maybe so you guys can see these athletes. Chris, welcome to the finish line of the 50K.
Thank you. If you weren't paying close enough attention, you wouldn't have missed the half Asian transition.
Yeah. Hopefully people caught that, and it's not like now a sound bite that's used against me for the rest of my life.
You look a little salty. How are you doing?
Yeah, it was a little bit warm out there, but I'm not too bad. I was sitting in the sun for a while yesterday and was a little bit tired today, but I love Black Canyon. It's just such a nostalgic race for me, so I just wanted to pace and race, and I had a really good time of doing a bit of both.
Yeah, you were in third. Robin Lesh in third also was out crewing Tara Dower all day yesterday, so we had the crews back in the race today.
That was another battle. Battle within a battle.
Battle within the battle. You were supposed to pace a lot longer yesterday, though.
Yeah, so I was fresh today, more or less. So I actually had to run fast.
Yeah, tell us a little bit what happened. Makai was in the chat earlier.
Oh, yeah, Makai. He's a super fit dude, super cool dude, and he just had bad luck yesterday and got sick and just couldn't really take a deep breath without a lot of pain, maybe around like mile 25. And that's not something you want to be running through the desert with, because if we'd pushed past Black Canyon City, we would have just gotten stranded there in the desert, because even after the race, he was like, oh, I can't breathe right now. And I just didn't want him to like pass out into a cactus or anything.
Yeah, you didn't want him to become unsafe.
That's just the nature of the sport. Stuff happens, and you just got to roll with the punches. But yeah, I blame him for making me run fast today and getting so salty.
You had no excuse. You're like, damn it.
Yeah, like why can't I just like go for 2 long runs?
Yeah, wouldn't that have been nice? So just wanted to shout out, this is Jessica Burke, I think, coming in for F10 in the women's race.
Oh, amazing.
Closing it down. Yep, she's been moving up all day.
Yeah.
Chris, you came in a little bit fresher, but you had a trio of guys, it seems like, go really hard off the front, and then you were kind of that secondary group with Eric Lagerstrom. Tell us a little bit about the in-race dynamics.
So very early from the dirt road, the 3 of them just separated, and I was just looking at my watch. We're like, oh, we're going like 6:10, running up some of the hills, and we're going down. I'm like, oh, we're going like 5:40, 5:30. I'm like, I think this is plenty fast enough for me. I'm like starting to feel a little bit tired from the previous day, even though I didn't do too much. And I was just like, I kind of want to go fast to run with these guys, but at the same time, they're going a little bit too fast. And by the time I got down to Bumblebee, I was a little bit cooked because I was just doing like a lot of like 5:40, 5:50 miles out there. And Eric was just hanging on right behind me.
He apologized if he was annoying.
Oh, no.
He was really worried about it. I know, but he was like, he's like, I might have been annoying. I'm sorry, Chris.
No, he was just hanging out. I've been known to hang out behind people.
He's a lot of respect for you. And he's like, I know that this guy could pace this well. I know that he's run really good 100Ks. I know that he's run well at Western States. Like, he's a safe person to, like, find a rhythm with.
It worked out in the end. I just didn't completely blow up, but I did have a low point around Bumblebee where I was like, man, I kind of went out a little bit fast, stopped to pee. I think he went off course.
He went off course, I think, like a kilometer before Bumblebee and got mad and also took a caffeinated gel and then got hyped, and so that's what happened.
Yeah, because then I was running out of Bumblebee, and it was really funny because I looked at my watch climbing out of Bumblebee, and my watch said 2:02. I'm like, whoa, we were sub 2 through Bumblebee? Gross. And then I just hear this guy just like blowing like by me, and it's Eric. I'm like, whoa, like I didn't even see him because I thought I was just like hanging out in like 4th or 5th
by
at
yourself,
that point. Yeah. And then I could see Adam up ahead, and I was just like, I guess I'll just reel him in. Looks like he's hurting because it looked like he was with the top group, and then I started catching glimpses of him coming into Bumblebee, and I'm like, wow, okay, maybe I can sneak up maybe to 4th place or something. And then, yeah, I just Eric just flew past me, and I was like, all right, he's gone. I'm just going to like focus on just running my own race because I was a bit tired at that point. And then I just moseyed around. And then at one point at the bottom of this heinous little hill, there was like 3 roads and there weren't any flags directly in sight. Oh. So I like turned on my GPS and I was like, wait, which way? And I went like up a little bit each way. Then I'm like, nope. I went straight up and that was the right way to go. And then I caught sight of a white shirt, and that was Brian. Yeah. And then just on a downhill, I passed him, and he was just like, you know, looked like he had a little bit of a bonk going on.
We didn't see him. We don't know if he took water at all, except for at Gloriana Mine.
Like that's where I had water dumped on me.
Yeah, he had 2 handhelds. Maybe he had a third and a belt that we weren't aware of, but it seemed like we saw him blowing by, whereas Jesh would get dropped actually at every single aid because Jesh filled up a bottle at every aid.
Wow.
And so he would lose contact to Brian and Adam, and then he'd like claw back.
Yeah.
So it was actually like strategy was really interesting, but also like.
Well, Jesh was running a smart race.
Yeah, it sounds like Jesh ran a very smart race.
I mean, 50K is long enough to mess you up if you don't fuel, but it's like short enough to get you like almost all the way there.
Yeah, we definitely see people who are brand new to the sport who can like survive a 50K on less than ideal nutrition, but when these races are getting better and better, you
can't really count on that many blow-ups anymore, unfortunately. Yeah, it's weird how the sport's changed within my short tenure in the sport. I'm just like, when I started, you could count on a lot of people blowing up, but now it's like maybe like half of that would ever happen. Like it's been halved.
And I don't think it's like secrets, right? I don't think it's like we've learned these secrets. It's just like we're all taking it more seriously.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's hard to eat, especially if you're just having a bad day. You're like, I don't need to eat, and then there you go. Soon you're just like struggling. You can't see straight.
Yeah, truly. I guess the other question that we have that maybe you can wax poetically on for a hot sec is, we were noticing that there are a lot of white shirts out there, which made us identifying anyone really hard, and not to say that you had a target on your back. But you were bright.
You were noticeable. Sure. You stood out.
So this is a bit of a gripe on my point because it helped me at Western States see who was coming the last mile from a very long away, so I could really just put the hurt on and just gap Blake by about 30 seconds. And then today I felt very seen because Black Canyon's kind of a unique course where you can maintain sight lines for quite a bit. You'll be going into a canyon, and then you'll see the people coming out. You can just look right across at them sometimes. And everyone could tell exactly where I was. I was like, I kind of miss just being an ambiguous white shirt. So, I mean, it is cool. It's great. It's great for the drones. It's great for you guys. But I'm maybe slightly less thrilled about it.
Maybe you wear a white shirt with like a red hat.
Maybe.
And then our drones can see you.
You turn it inside out and it might work a little bit better.
We'll talk to Brian about it. We'll get it sorted.
Yeah. We'll get something. Maybe for Western states. We want to wear some white.
You're going to come in camo, like all.
Yeah, it'd be really cool if I had a white front and a camo back.
Yes.
Yeah. I think we can work on this. Okay, maybe final question before we let you go and bring Allison into studio with us. Robin's kicking her legs up as well. We've got people, everyone's homeostasis is recalibrating. Final question. Obviously, we know that you're back in Western states. It's really early in the year. You got a long runway, but it's going to be here before we know it. What's like between now and Western states?
Potentially 2 races that excite me. One being Chuck and Nut, and then Lake Sonoma 50. A lot of people have asked me if I'm doing Gorge, but I'm planning on racing CCC after states, so it wouldn't really make sense to try and qualify at Gorge for a race that I wouldn't really be ready for, so close to CCC. So I did Sonoma a few years back when it was the World's Qualifier, and I really liked the race, and I have friends in California and people I want to see, and that race is kind of nostalgic for me as well. So I just kind of want to go back there, have a good time, get some longer training in, and just be ready for states.
We've got our other media guy, Skylar, making his way into the finish right now. Congratulations on a great race, Chris.
Thank you.
Super excited to watch you race at Western States. If you come to Chuck and It, let me know. I'll help you with bottles.
Sweet.
Or make sure you're fueled well. Oh, boy.
Yeah, Jeff's getting hyped out there.
Yeah, Jeff Colt in the background hyping Skylar Hall in.
Thank
you so much,
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
Cheers.
Allison, you look comfy. Robin, if you want to be inside, there's a chair over there. I mean, whatever makes you happy. We'll talk to Allison, and then we'll bring you in. And then, Josh, you got a little bit of time. You okay? Okay, sweet. We're just gonna do one at a time because it's easy. Sweet.
Hello.
Allison Baca.
So nice to see you guys.
The women's champion. The sniper.
I hope you could feel us just like pumping our fists in excitement and cheering you in.
Thank you. I appreciate it. There was a lot of great cheers out there on the course, so it was fun.
You led from wire to wire. You ran such an amazing race, a fearless race. You just ran your own race. Like, you were just out there and like see what the day could bring. I personally, like, I want to hear how it went down, but I loved how in the second half you just got faster and faster. Like, it really felt like you executed a beautifully put together race.
We're like, she's accelerating.
Yes. Every time we saw you, your splits were like, no, she's gaining on the guys. Like, she was like,
well, thank you guys. It didn't feel that way. It was really difficult the second half, but honestly, I was just having so much fun on the trails that it kind of just flew by. And yeah, I think today the goal was just to try to take some risks and see what happened. There's no like golden tickets, or there's not really too much pressure on this race. It was a good opportunity to try and just go for it and like see what I could do. So yeah, it was fun in that aspect for sure.
I mean, we have been joking that we might be giving out pinatas to give you an entry into give you an entry into the 100K for next year. So.
No thanks.
Careful what you ask for.
Too soon to ask if you want to run double the distance.
Yeah, you want to just keep going when you leave here?
Oh no, I'm good. No, I mean I really love the atmosphere of this race and I love the trails, but I think I'm good with the 50K. Like it does feel a little bit difficult to come from Colorado to do 100K at this time of the year. And yeah, I really enjoyed the 50K today, and I've tried the 100K twice, and it just was not my day either time. So, yeah, I think I'll stick with the 50K.
I mean, you executed it really well. I am curious about some of the risks that you felt you took. Was it your pace? Like, how do you feel like you were sort of pushing yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think I definitely went out harder than I would have normally. I don't feel like I was conservative at any point in the race. And like today it paid off, but I do feel like, you kind of never know what's going to happen on the day, and there's a chance that it wouldn't have gone so well. So yeah, it was fun to just kind of like put myself out there and see what happened today, and it was fun. I really wanted to try to run under like 7-minute pace for the course, just as kind of like a random goal that I thought I could maybe accomplish, and I think I did that. So all in all, it was just a really fun day.
Yeah, we were like, maybe someone's gonna go under 4 hours, and they're like, maybe she's gonna go under 3:50, and then it was like, oh no, she's going like 3:45. So that is stellar. It's incredibly fast. I think of you as more of like a mountain athlete, I guess. Like I think of you of like Verdi mid distance is kind of like where I classify you in my own classification system. This is obviously very different than that. It is fast. It is relatively flat. It's net downhill. Talk to us a little bit about, the why of doing a race like this, but also like, I guess why it's important as an athlete to be able to like flex that range a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would categorize myself the same as more of like a big mountain, long climbs, long descents kind of athlete, but it's nice to train for something fast in the winter when we don't really have access to a lot of vert and big mountains. So it's fun to have a goal like this to try and see how fast I can actually go after a block of like kind of faster training. And yeah, I do feel like downhills are one of my strengths. So I think this course is actually like quite good for me, at least the first 50K of the course. So yeah, I think like in that respect, it was a really good course for me and just kind of like a fun way to test my fitness coming off of the winter so far.
We got some amazing drone shots. You'll have to go back and look, but the drone shots out there were incredible, and we could see you flying on some of these sections. And like as you were sort of like gaining speed and picking off people on the way, like it was really fun to see you just stretch out your legs, and you looked like you were having fun with it.
Thank you. It was really so much fun on some of those descents. And yeah, like really one of my goals today was just try to throw down a solid race and enjoy it. I mean, a net downhill course is like such a unique thing that we don't really see at a lot of other races. So yeah, I thought it was a really fun opportunity to try and just like do something different and get some good downhill training in, I guess.
Did you ever like wish for an uphill just so you could mix it up a little bit, or were you just like fully embracing?
No, I did wish for some uphills because my stomach was not great in the beginning, and I was like, oh, I feel like the downhill is not helping.
Yeah. Everything jostling.
Yes. So yeah, I was definitely wishing for some uphills in the first half, and then I kind of like settled down and I was okay the second half, and then I was like, I only want downhills now.
Yeah, totally.
I'm tired.
This is great. Gravity.
Yeah, exactly.
So we saw you race a phenomenal Worlds race in Innsbruck. It was really cool to see you crush it there with that, I don't know, just like a phenomenal team. I'm on your Ultra Sign Up right now, and there are no green boxes. You're not signed up for anything on the Ultra Sign Up page I'm looking at anyway. So I'm kind of curious as to like what's coming down the pipeline. Like where do we get to cheer you on? What is this progressing towards as we wait for the snow to melt in the mountains?
Yeah, I don't think I'm registered for anything that would be on Ultra Sign Up.
According to Ultra Sign Up.
I think I am registered for UTMB, the full loop, in August. So I would like to try that. I'm kind of like not 100% sure if, I don't know, like it does feel very far away. So we'll see like what happens in the summer, but that is kind of like my big goal for this year, I think. And I'm just going to probably do some local 50Ks, maybe some sort of longer FKT in the spring. But I'm trying to not travel too much outside of the country this summer until UTMB. So
keep it local.
We'll yeah. I always find it kind of hard to like try to go to Europe twice in the summer.
It's really hard.
Yeah, I struggle with the second race, so I'm trying to just like go once and try to like focus on that one race, and we'll see what happens. It's a long way away.
I guess I have at least one more question,
and
then I'll let you go. Like you've been in the sport for a while. You've been crushing it for a while. You also during your ultra career, you've also become a mom, and I guess I would just like love to hear a little bit about how that's, I don't know if it's reshaped or changed how you like think about your athletics, but I'm always curious because I just like I think it's such a interesting like dynamic when we have moms on the start line.
Yeah, it's definitely changed how I see the sport. Also my training, like of course I'm more time limited now, but at the same time I have the opportunity to do a lot of training with my son, so I we do like stroller runs, and he rides his mountain bike sometimes. And I think it's definitely changed my perspective in that, like, I know whenever I go home, he'll just be so happy to see me. Like, he does not care how I did at all, which is like the same with my dog too. But like, you know, the child, he's just like always excited for when I go to race, and he always wants to come. And I actually think the biggest change that it's made in running for me is that when I was pregnant, I just kind of like let go of like this idea of what a runner's supposed to look like. And so I just started eating enough, if that makes sense. And so actually, like, after pregnancy, I felt like I was so much better at fueling my body and nutrition, and I feel like I'm a better runner than I was before I was pregnant. So it's been like a really good process.
Yeah, that's really powerful. Just that reframing, and then to see that payoff in your race results and all these ways.
Yeah, it's been fun. And like, he's come to a lot of like the international races with us, which it's just so fun, like, to see him at the top of the mountain in some random place in Austria, or so like, it's like fun that it's a whole family sport for us. So
awesome. Well, I would like to congratulate both of you on your lovely kits, because they look great.
Yes, now we're teammates.
So that's exciting. And it's fun to see you out there. You're rocking the Hoka colors, and congratulations on an amazing race. Like,
thank you so much.
Just honestly super inspiring, and you set a very stout course record on our new 50K course for everyone to follow you. So yeah, it was really, really fun to see you do it today.
Yes, well, and thank you guys for everything that you do for the sport, and for being here and announcing all day and yesterday. It's always so fun to follow the races.
Yeah, I get to
best
take a
sport
nap
in the
after
world.
this. A nap and then a jog later. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
We're cheering you on at UTMB.
Thanks.
We're gonna bring in Robin Lesh. Careful.
It's the getting up that's difficult.
Oh yeah, watch the wires. I don't know if you're gonna make it that way. We have an agility course. I don't know if you know that. Anyone who finishes on the podium has to come do our agility course. Come join us. Robin.
Hi.
You ran such a phenomenal race.
Thanks. It was so much fun.
It actually took us a second. We all of a sudden had aerial of F3, and we were expecting Jen Schmidt, and all of a sudden I was like, that looks like a Vibram logo.
You called that one.
I was like, I think it's Robin. We're like, no, it's not. And I was like, no, it is. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Flying.
Yeah, it was super fun.
You like cruised through that last section, I have to say. Like,
yeah, I I spent sort of the first half being like, oh, and then somewhere around the middle, I was like, this is great, actually. And everything sort of switched around, and I was like, oh, let's just go run and find some women and see if they come back to me.
It seemed like there were a bunch of you together. Like at Gloriana Mine, it seemed like it was actually kind of tight. I don't know that you guys could see each other well, but within 2 minutes, there was like maybe 3 or 4 of you. So talk a little bit about, I guess, once you did feel like you were ready to go find some other women, walk us through Gloriana Mine to the finish.
Yeah. So coming out of Bumblebee, I had a massive ice bandana. It must have weighed like 4 or 5 pounds. So I spent probably half that climb being like, where's the hole in this thing to get rid of some of these ice cubes? Because this did not melt since I packed it this morning at all. So once I dealt with that, got to the top, and I kind of had a feeling 6 or 7 or something like that, just from like some moment towards the start where I saw sort of women lined up around a turn and was like, that seems like about 6 or 7 or something.
I got fingers. I can count.
I know. You're like, who has a ponytail? It's kind of hard to tell. So right after Gloriana Mine's the road crossing at the top after Bumblebee, there a guy was like, that's 4th up there. Oh, must have been a couple K after. Was after I passed one woman. Was like, that's 5th up there or 4th up there, and 3rd's just past her. And then I had some idea of where the heck I was.
That was helpful.
And so the idea had been kind of like run smooth before Bumblebee, turn it on a bit for that climb. I dealt with my ice bandana instead. But after the ice bandana, turned it on from there and just sort of ran fast, used the downhills, ate really well, stayed really cool.
What were you eating?
I like Victus gels.
Okay.
Just because they're like humongous.
You're like, this is all I need.
Yeah.
They're packing a punch.
Yeah. I was trying liquid hydration nutrition in the first half, but I don't know. You just have to drink so much of it.
Yeah.
There's a volume issue there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
I'm
on
a geller.
downhill too. A volume issue with a downhill start is kind of brutal.
Yeah, that might have been it, because I was like, this is just hard to want to. I know I need this, but I freaking.
And it's early in the morning. It's cool. It's not that hot. You're not that thirsty.
Yeah. So I switched to Bumblebee and like literally dumped my bottle of liquid nutrition from the aid station. Was like,
nice.
I get some more water.
So much lighter.
Yeah.
We heard that you were out crewing all day yesterday for
Yeah.
Hour. How is your whole weekend shaping up? Right, you like big day in the sun yesterday. Crewing a phenomenal performance before the 50K today. Walk us through that.
Yeah, I got to crew Tara Dower yesterday on her amazing course record second place. It was a blast. And really actually inspiring for today. I feel like I tried to absorb as much Tara energy as I could and channel my little streak of Tara skill that I observed in the incredible day yesterday. I don't know, I tried to eat a lot, drink a lot of water, stay in the shade as much as possible.
Did you
turn on, turn off? Yeah, it was way hotter yesterday.
Okay, yesterday. Did you feel like today was this hot for you?
Not as hot,
Okay.
no. I prioritize staying as cold as I can.
Yeah.
Just because I know I heat up faster than other people. Like, everyone thought I was crazy this morning. I was dumping water on myself. And everyone's like, what are you not, like, completely frozen? But that's just what works for me.
And that's important. It's like I gotta do what I gotta do.
Yeah.
To make sure this happens, and
yeah,
it's not an easy thing.
Yeah. And my coach probably
there are people in like down jackets at the start too.
Yeah, I know. I'm like stripping 30 minutes before. Yeah. My coach Robbie Britton has a great concept about like core temperature. Like if you start a bit lower than normal, then you have longer to heat up.
Yeah.
And I heat up quickly, so it's extra helpful.
Pre-cooling factor can be really, really important. I was just pulling up. I just did this to Alice Bakti. I was like, ooh, what are they signed up for?
Yeah, I'm all on Ultra sign up this year.
Yeah, we got some variety, but we also, it seems like we're just like, it seems like there's a World Hail Mary situation going on here. You're signed up for both the Gorge 100K, which is the long team qualifier, and signed up for the Broken Arrow Sky Race 46K, which is the short team qualifier, which is very exciting. Have you done a 100K before?
Nope.
Gorge is going to be your debut 100K.
JFK was my debut longer than 50K, longer than 60K.
Okay, at least we're going 50 miles to 100K. That's not insane, but it's exciting.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's a beautiful course too.
Yeah, I'm originally from like north of Bellingham, so it's like going
there
home
isn't a
little
whole lot
bit.
north of Bellingham before you hit Canada.
Yeah, we were real close to Canada.
Yeah, I grew up in Vancouver.
I was born in Canada, actually.
Oh, no way.
Well, you're from Vancouver.
Vancouver.
Oh,
We met
beautiful.
I was in grad school in Vancouver when we met, so.
Yeah, we used to run
My
together.
husband went to grad school in Vancouver.
Did you go to UBC or Simon Fraser?
UBC.
I'm a Simon Fraser.
Sorry for the side note, everybody.
Sorry. Just catching up for a second.
Fun.
Okay, so talk to us a little bit about like wanting to make that jump in distance, about jumping up to JFK 50 mile and now to Gorge 100K.
Yeah, JFK was a funny one because we like threw it in at the end of the season last year because I'd had some weird stuff going on before Kodiak, so we decided not to do Kodiak 100K, which was going to be kind of like a try 100K, see if I like it, experiment, no for next
also,
year.
Maybe there's a fire, we don't know.
Yeah, exactly. That was also like, we don't know if the race is happening, so we're gonna plan something else. So JFK was super last minute. Weirdly, though, it tested distance, but it was the exact same amount of running time as OCC.
That's exactly what Eli Hemming said.
So it's like running faster, and covering more
but
ground.
Yeah, you're still out there for the same amount of time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All the same stuff.
That's
Eat the
crazy.
same amount. What was the question? Oh, stepping up to the 100K.
Yeah, stepping up to 100K.
Yeah.
Talk about the excitement of maybe because I know you as a 50K, like a 50K gal. In my head, I'm like, Robin, 50K.
Yeah.
Really good, 50K. This is a different, like it's a little.
It's completely different. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I guess I sort of thought about what I've raced so far, which is a bunch of 50Ks. A little bit here, but a lot of the more competitive ones in Europe. And was like, Worlds comes around twice a year, like every 2 years.
Yeah.
This could be a really good time to give it a shot. Honestly, I don't know which I'm better suited for. I haven't raced long, but I often like sort of just settle in the first half of races, and the second half I'm like, let's go get some stuff. go find if we can catch
Maybe
some people.
Longer will be. You got more room.
Yeah. So it's an experiment and see, because I think I have never been someone to like go out really hard and then
try to hang it.
Yeah, it's like set up for success and then see if I can execute from there. So longer might be a really good fit. We'll see.
Yeah,
I'm excited
TBD.
about that.
Thanks. Me too.
You'll have to report back and tell us what you think.
I will. I hope it's either a love or a hate, because right now I seem to be decent at everything, like skyrunning technical, flat fast, and there's nothing that's like
I'm
this is
okay,
it.
but it'd be nice to be really awesome.
At one, it would save me trying to decide. Yeah.
You're like I can be competitive, but it'd be sick to be like, yeah, this is my spot.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
But maybe I'm just a retool. We'll see.
Coco done a 250. I don't know.
I'll throw that in.
We'll just get right
Robbie
past
will be
100K.
real happy.
Do some like long hikes or long runs, like
Yeah.
Seems to be working for a lot of people on the podium yesterday. Got Tara and Joe.
Yeah, true.
There you go. Just mix it all up.
Yeah, get like a massive base. Spend 2 months doing nothing but literally nothing but getting your base.
Yeah, turns out you got to be fast no matter what these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but strength somehow translates, like strong hill strength. Like after OCC training, coming back to track, I was like, oh, these are speeds I've never run before.
This helps.
That's weird.
That's cool.
You're also signed up for the Moab Red Hot 50 or 33K.
Oh, yeah.
In 2 weeks. Are you running that?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
It's gonna be so much fun.
Sick. I'm like that's great. I just like wanted to confirm that this was a
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably towards the C race, but we're gonna do bib sign up the day before and then run.
Sweet. Amazing.
I'm excited. Well, I've got my fingers crossed that we've got a world's team, be it the 80K or the marathon length, in your future.
Thank
It'd
you.
be really cool to see you in the Pyrenees.
Yeah.
Come September, but we'll be following along. I might be at Gorge. It'd be really fun. I'll be at Broken Arrow, so
Great.
we'll get some more opportunities to yell at you.
Please, anytime.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna go let you eat some snacks. Your crew is patiently waiting, I think, to have more food on board for everyone. But
Yep, we're gonna get in the car and head to Durango.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you both, and thank you for being out here.
Yeah.
It's really special
We'll see you soon.
to have women on the other sides of the mics too.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Thanks, Robin.
Cheers,
Thanks,
everyone.
Robin.
Amazing performance. I think we're gonna
so
steal Jesh, and then we'll steal Carolyn, and we've like basically done it.
We have a richness of.
And then we can sign off. Oh my gosh, Jesh, you feeling nimble?
What?
You feeling nimble? You want to just hop up here? Okay,
Very nice.
Yeah.
come join us. Those are some sweet looking shorts.
Oh, should I get the microphone?
You can grab the microphone.
Okay.
The mics are hot.
Oh, wait, should I
Don't move away from us. There you go.
Okay, closer's the better.
Okay, so we have the 50K champ from the Black Canyon weekend, new course record holder, as this is I think going to be the course moving forward for this 50K weekend. I guess to kick things off, Jesh, we watched you in an epic battle. It was kind of a duo, and then it was a trio. It seemed like you were playing the long game, the smart game. We saw some guys blow through aid stations, and you patiently, quickly filled bottles, kind of moving along through the day. Tell us a little bit about your race strategy going in and how that played out for you.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me here, of course. I appreciate you inviting me on. Well, yeah, at the start, I didn't know exactly what to expect. I knew it was going to be fast, and I knew that everybody there was going to try to, go from the gun. I think everybody saw Eli's time last year and was just, kind of, looked at it as a way, okay, this is, a legitimate race we can all show up to and, run fast. And I think normally in the past, everybody looked at the 100K as, the race to be at. And so, going into it, I knew everybody was going to try to run fast. And the paces, I mean, who knows if it was going to be 6 flat, 6:10, or 5:40. So then, yeah, we just all started going for it. And then, yeah, I was running with, at the start, it was kind of Chris, Brian, Adam, and I. And then a little bit farther into it, it was just Brian, Adam, and I. And we're working pretty good. I think one of my goals going to the race was be patient. I've tried to race a little bit smarter this year. Try to just wait it out. If everybody's running fast, just chill, and try not to make any too early of moves. And I've also learned if I don't eat or drink, then it tends to be a pretty bad day. So I have a pretty good bottle system right now, where I'll bring empty bottles with me, and make sure I'm always filling up at every single aid station.
Do you have drink mix or something in there?
Yeah, I do. And then I saw everybody else like running through the aid stations, and I've known a few people to get away with that. But for the most part, like I normally if someone's running through the aid station and they're just carrying handhelds the whole entire time, even if they have like a high calorie, high carbohydrate like scenario, if they're not getting the water or just even like stopping for a second, it's just like such a relief and like almost like a stimulus of like relaxing. And I don't know. And I always stop and had a bottle to fill up good carbohydrates.
Yeah, we watched you like you were ready, right? You came into every station with that bottle out of your pack, ready to go, ready to fill up. I mean, you lost a little bit of time every time that happened, but it wasn't a lot. And then we'd watch you close it back down. We had amazing drone shots of you guys like sprinting out of aid stations, and you'd fairly quickly close it back down. So it didn't seem to cost you in the end. It seemed to cost Brian, kind of in a big way, when all of a sudden we didn't know what was going to happen after Gloriana Mine. We know that you had left, the two of you had left, and we knew that Eric Lackersham had closed.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, shoot. We were like, is it a three-way battle? What's going on out there? We were blind until you were probably like a kilometer out. And then we saw you by yourself. We actually saw you look behind you, and we're like, what's happening?
Yeah. Well, I wonder about that because my girlfriend Sierra was talking about that moment of the live stream, and she was like, you almost like fell or something. And I don't remember that at all. Really? Like I remember
we were like, oh no, is Josh like in a bad way?
Well, like if you would have caught me like a mile and a half before that, I actually like stopped because it's like everything here looks like when you're on the contouring path, it looks the same, and you're like, I just want to be done. I just want to go home. But yeah, after Bumblebee, I knew the pace was going to slow down a little bit, and I was going to make a move going up to Gloriana Mine, but then we were already running so fast. I was like, okay, let's chill. And it didn't look like anybody was like directly behind us. I think I thought Adam was still behind us at that point. And I knew he was starting to like fall off the back. So then I was like, okay, let's take a second and just like, okay, we were running together. Let's enjoy this. And then I kept looking back and nobody's there. And then we were getting to Gloriana Mine, and I like look back and I'm like, oh. And I didn't know who it was, but I saw like he had a vest, so it was different than Adam. And then I was like, okay, we got to get going. If he has a vest, he's been eating, he's been drinking well. Stereotypes. Normally, if you have a belt or a handheld, I don't know.
It's a fair assumption.
It depends. I think some people
you're like,
know.
I'm a vest guy.
You got to stand for all the vest people out
all
there.
The belt people are like, it's enough.
Yeah. But once I was like, and in my head, I was like, okay. If Brian stops for water, because I had already gotten a bottle at Bumblebee, so if Brian stops for water, I'm going to make a move and then go for
Gloriana.
it. Yeah, and try to just instantly create some gap. Then I looked back and then I saw Eric, and I was like, okay, he's closing really fast. I got to go. Yeah. And I was like, let's try to go like hard for 2 miles and gain some time. And then looking back, I was like, he started getting a gap. I wasn't seeing anybody. Then it got over to like the river crossing. It's not a river this year.
Yeah, there's nothing in it.
There's nothing. It's bone dry.
Yeah, there's no water there to cool off with.
No, yeah. Compared to last year, it's crazy. Like you could swim in it.
Yeah, and then the mud as well. Like totally different conditions this year for you guys.
Yeah, both good. I don't know. The mud would have been good. The cold would have been nice. But
it was interesting. So Eric actually took a little wrong turn going into Bumblebee.
Yep.
And like. Sounds like it lit a fire in him, and then he's like, and then I think a caffeine gel hit, and I was just like on one. So he made a move past Chris and just like bridged to you guys. So it's actually interesting that you like one saw him, two wanted to make a move at Gloriana anyway, and then that kind of all compounded together. And so it sounds like you tempoed for 2 miles, broke that elastic a little bit, felt like you were in a good spot. Did it feel safe ever? Or were you not running scared, but like, did you feel like you had to keep on the gas the whole time?
I felt pretty safe, but at the same time, it was like at that river crossing. That's when I saw Eric again, and I was like, okay, he's probably 2 minutes, and if I start like blowing up, then 2 minutes can go by pretty quick. But also, if like we run the same pace, 2 minutes is 2 minutes, and that's not gonna change.
You have to sort of like talk yourself down and be like, it's not that possible for him to increase that much, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, by the time we caught you on that drone shot at the very end, you put a sizable gap in front of the other guys. It was actually really cool to see because we had a little bit of time where we didn't have those eyes on you guys, and it was like, what's going to happen, Like,
are all three of them together? Or are they just like absolutely like, I don't know if you can hear that on the live broadcast. You probably can't.
Yeah, that's not great.
Absolutely retching like 100 feet away from us.
Yeah, tough day out there.
The mics are pretty good. I think they're probably fine at home, but it's rough in here in studio.
They're standing up tall now, so that's a good sign.
He's upright, moving the right direction. We love to see it. Okay, so good performance, strong performance, establishing a new course record here on what will be the course moving forward. Has to feel pretty good. I think you can call it a course record. How did the day we check all the boxes today?
I would say so. I think the goal coming into it was just get some fast stimulus. I obviously try to show up and get the win, and try to set like a good precedent going forward into the season, and not have not to start in a low place. Obviously, though, I think in my head, we're going into it, I was like, if we were running really, really fast, 2 hours to Bumblebee, I was like, no, not 2 hours, 150. Yeah. I was like, that's going to be a tough day out there. But it felt pretty smooth and checked all the boxes. And I think, the goal was try to get one of the fastest times, and we ended up getting the fastest time to Bumblebee. So that was
54.
Yeah, was that felt good. It feels good. Yeah. But at the same time, it's this is a fast year. But going forward, I could see the next year at the 100K, they'll do the same splits, and then the 50K is going to be faster, and the year after that, and I think we're in a really good progression of
things are moving.
Yeah, everything's getting fast, and I love to see that. So yeah, checked all the boxes, and it's good to be in Arizona. Boulder's been good, but
it's been wintry.
Oh yeah, you get sun in the week, but every time it hits the weekend for the long run, it snows 6 inches. So
of course it does.
Yeah, love it.
Character building.
Yeah, exactly.
So right now you're signed up for Broken Arrow in June. So are we going for a Worlds team spot? If it was to happen,
I mean, I think hopefully. I think that's a very tall ask to go for a Worlds team. I don't think I could turn it down though. Even though I'm going to race CCC this year, I'm going to step up.
Stepping up.
I'm tired of OCC. I got to switch it up.
That's exciting.
Yeah, Broken Arrow looks good. So I mean, it'd be sweet to go for a team spot. But it would change up the whole entire season, and I think it'd be, I don't know, maybe a little selfish to try to do CCC than try to show up to a world spot. But at the same time, if I get a ticket, I think it's one of those things you just can't turn down. It's you shouldn't turn down a golden ticket because even though you think you can get it again, it might never happen. So same thing with the U.S. team.
Yeah, particularly when it's every other year now for Worlds, they're a little bit harder to get.
Yeah,
that's exciting. What else is on? So CCC in August on the calendar right now. Maybe trying to go for a world spot at Broken Arrow if the cards align. We're sitting here early February. We got a long season ahead of us. What are you gaming out right now? Anything else on the calendar?
I got a Canyons 50K. I think this year I've tried to set up my schedule. I still have to release some stuff, or I still have to figure out some races still.
Yeah.
But I think try to keep it pretty low key. I was traveling a lot last year, and I got to the end. I don't know. I was pretty burnt out. I think it's beautiful and it's a great opportunity to travel so much, but it is pretty hard mentally, and it's pretty hard to keep trying to keep that going.
Yeah.
So I've set up a season where it's everything is you're at home a lot of it, and then
Cool.
There's a few other things in the works that I might try to go after in the fall, depending. I don't know. Keep that window.
Keep that in the pocket for right now. We won't force it out of you. That's okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy to talk, but you gotta. I don't want to say anything until you do it. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on the win today. Yeah. Huge performance. Very exciting. Just classy too. Start to finish. Just a really good race.
Yeah, everybody out there was awesome. It was awesome to be out there with everybody else. It was good that one thing too that was really nice.
Yeah.
Is that it was there was a group Transvolcania was this last year, but Eiger, I've realized something at Eiger where it's I don't like those races where it just feels like a time trial from start to finish. It's I don't know. I like running with people.
You want to race with people.
Yeah. It's fun to run with people.
Yeah. Totally. You were stride for stride with Brian for so much of the race, and that was really fun. And we were having all these discussions on when you guys were going to make your moves, but just to get to run together for a while and not feel like you had to immediately do that, and because you push each other, right? You keep each other honest.
Yeah, 100%. I'm extremely grateful for Brian, for for essence, like pacing the first 20 miles. Like I wasn't in the lead more than like a half mile before that. So yeah, I'm really, it was awesome.
It was a great day all around.
Yeah.
It was so much fun to watch the race unfold.
It was entertaining.
It was very, yes. Thanks for running a very, fun and dynamic race and keeping us all on our toes right down to the last few minutes.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for commenting. Thank you for everything as always.
Yeah. We'll see you soon.
Yep.
We'll see. At minimum, we'll be cheering you on at Broken Arrow.
And Canyons.
And Canyons. I'll see you at Canyons.
There you go.
See you guys at
Wonderful.
Canyons.
Sweet travel safe.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thanks, Josh.
Microphone out.
Josh out. I think we have Carolyn, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, she's hanging out there. I can only sort of see through our black mesh.
Yeah.
I would suggest taking. How limber do you feel? If you go through the tent, there are stairs that involve no chord progressions.
Can handle the step up.
Yeah, and then we'll send you down the stairs later. There you go. Come join us on the couch. Congratulations.
Hello.
Take a seat. Yeah, it's a comfy couch. So
this is all I wanted to do.
it's like
All day, were you just visualizing?
Grab that mic for us.
Yeah.
Hold nice and close. Carolyn, welcome to the studio.
Thanks for having me.
You were one of the talks of the live stream, in part because you're a new name for a lot of people. You're not a new name to Cowgill, and my phone was blowing up the entire time to make sure I knew exactly who you were and what you've been up to and what you've done. Clara had everything in all caps. It was great. But we're really excited to have you in trail. Tell us a little bit about your running background, because you've done some trail racing.
A little bit.
But it's been sprinkled in amongst a bunch of really fast road and track stuff. And also, another friend texted me to make sure that I was aware that you were 17th at Cross Country Club Nationals. So now we've got the whole thing laid out. So tell us a little bit about your running background.
Yeah, I ran in high school and then ran in college, like mostly track, and then did like the traditional thing, which I think is just like immediately go to the roads. I still haven't. I like joke with my friends. I still haven't done like a road marathon, which is ironic, but took kind of a break after or like right in the middle of COVID, and then came back to running and was like I needed a different perspective on it and moved to Seattle, and I found Cowgill and like
very different perspective.
Very different perspective, but it was everything I needed it to be. Like it was the reason why I got into running in the first place. Like it was fun, it was challenging, and it was like the thing that makes me feel the most like myself. So I'm still trying to like maintain a little bit of speed left, like what shred of it that I do have. But like the trails are just so fun. So like I think I'm maybe trying to do like a slow transition into just trails, but like for now, keeping a few of those on the calendar, and then like maybe some road stuff in between that.
So cool. Yeah. I was going to say Zach Marion, who's kind of like one of the producers of this whole live stream thing, was running around at the finish, basically like chasing you in, and he came in here absolutely haggard afterwards, and he said by far, hands down, because he ran in top men, top women, he said you were by far the hardest person to keep up with running down this final stretch. You had that look in your eyes. You were kicking. It was the end of the 10K on a track. It was honestly a little bit scary. Tell us a little bit, I guess, about not even just finishing. Let's back up. We're backing up. I'm getting ahead of myself. In the live chat today, people were saying things like, does she know that it's a 50K? Because we had these aerial drone shots of you just absolutely hammering, which was really exciting for us. Just walk us through how your day played out, what it was like on these trails. You ran almost 32 miles of them. Like, walk us through the day.
It's funny, like I've had a lot of friends tell me that I should run this race. They're like, it's super runnable. And I'm like, should I run Black Canyons? And then the opportunity came up to do it, and I was like pumped about it. And the first couple miles were really cruisy, and I was like, well, okay, like we're not red line, like this is fine. And it felt really, really great, acutely bad, and then like a little better, and then really good again. And so it was like a peak, a valley, and then probably more of like a slow slope back up to feeling pretty good again. Because that was in the back of my mind. I didn't want to be reckless about it, but like I still felt very like within myself and like very in control, which was nice. And I was like, okay, like we're not doing anything crazy, but I also made it a rule like not to look at my watch as often as possible. And I think that helped a lot. Like I was just trying to focus on how I felt versus like what pace we were running. And then like eventually that caught up to me, and then it was okay again. Yeah. As far as like a plan, like I just kind of wanted to see where I could get into the mix. Like I still am fairly new to the trail, so like the distance is really daunting. Like I've done it before, but I haven't like gone out and